Honorable Chairperson General Apostle THKOOL, the man who presents all the triangular, pyramid, and tripartite sections of Liberia repository and bulwark of massive party governance and democratic populism, the indomitable coalition for democratic change. Former President, 2029, the populous President of the Republic of Liberia, Nigeria's most decorated patriot, His Excellency President George Manawiya, and to all of you comrades, members of the folk estate, members of the underground affair, the party forces of our movement, or partisans, home and abroad, you have our revolutionary fraternal felicitations and greetings for your resilience, your warmth, support, and your gallant support towards this noble revolutionary movement. It is because of you, comrades, that we struggle today on the side of the people. It is because of you, partisans, and well-wishers of our movement, the fighting forces of our movement, we continue to struggle against injustices and political inequality in the motherland. And we do that with utter conviction, and we do that because we believe that the people's revolutionary project that was infiltrated, hijacked by elements of backwardness and reactions, reactionary forces of the historical status quo of the political kleptocracy, the historical status quo of the political kakistocracy, the historical status quo of the political plutocracy. Those who hijack power and impose themselves on the masses of the people, today have the burden of history on their shoulders. They cannot govern, they are governing on the weight of their own gross incompetence. And so that's why when we are called at the theater of revolutionary battles to articulate the perspective and the opinion of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Coalition for Democratic Change, particularly to deal with the narcissistic chauvinist and black fascist demagogue, the narcissistic chauvinist and black fascist demagogue in Georgia Newman Walker. Whenever we are called to deal with him, we do that because we do not fear him. We have seen men more brutal and despotic than Walker. Liberia have seen the less of Charles Taylor. We have seen the demands of the ecclesiastical orthodoxy of the moribund decadent Chui party. We have seen the emergence of the regular dictatorship of Samarkand, the emergence of reckless government of Charles Taylor, the last doctor of the Chui party, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf.
On our procedures, after that, it goes to committee room. There's a committee that does all of the background, all of the due diligence that it requires to pass, to bring the bill back to plenary to pass into law. As you introduced me earlier, I'm also the co-chair for the Judiciary Committee. With other committee, I'm a member of Internal Affairs, member of Bureau of Committee on Concession and Investment, and Education as well, and other committees. There have been a lot of call on the legislature to act on many instruments. And you know that sometimes ago, there was a joint resolution issued by the House of Rep and the House of Senate, to bring about this into subject matter. The war crime code issue came about, which was advocate of our head of state or president of the Republic of Liberia. They advocated for the establishment of the war and economic crime code, but we decided that we separated into two bills. So there are two bills right here. One has to do with the war crime by itself, which is going to be time bound. The war crime code is not a perpetual code; it's going to be time bound. We're going to issue for the first 5 years if the Senate approves. And then after the first 5 years, depending on the work that will be done, if they want to recommend another 5 years renewal, then the Senate will make the decision. To be based on the reality.
The mafia from 4 years to say Imam Bwaka.
Down. Mafia to the Imam Bwaka. Down. He's a dictator. Down.
The subject matters. In sense that students have the mindset that when subjects are enough, they don't really have time to study.
So what you want the education ministry to do?
I want that the education minister or ministry should help the students community to at least allow all students to fall in their field of study. If you are a science student, you take science subjects. You should not be pressurized by all subjects.
So do you think that's necessary?
Yes, of course it's necessary.
So what kind of student are you?
I'm a science student.
You're a science student.
Yes.
Okay, when you talk about maintenance,
Be real. The subject matters. In sense that students have the mindset that when subjects are enough, they don't really have time to study.
so what you want the
So do not fear this narcissistic, chauvinist, and black pastors demagogue from 4 years, who on 2 years has paraded in utter arrogance of ruthlessness, mass looting of state resources, bad governance, and lack of clear policy direction to resuscitate the masses of the people from language and economic paralysis and destitution. We have the moment today, we have the opportunity to speak to the Liberian people, to provide our revolutionary perspective on issues of governance and national concern in the country.
We have politicizing the New Talk Intl, Mr. President of the Senate, the Civil Police, especially us for the rescue government. Our people say we move. Say what? One minute, 1 minute, I think. No, let's go 1 minute. Our people say we need. I beg you, Senator Moise. I want to land on something here. Even if you get 5%, the sex that you get, they say you mean. Even if the fact, so they just say, no, maybe you're not lucky. I don't get something from that person. The general perception is a public official, especially when people, they mean. Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. President of the Senate, more than 20,000 jobs in the private sector in the labor market that work the men was selling for that job, for those jobs, and depriving our people. We cannot be here under the regime and allow it to happen. We should not allow it to happen. In 2019, 2018, the former government paid the road, the door for military road. First time in the history of this country. In 2019, there was a by-election that contested in. The people in door for military walk on that road to go vote for me. They didn't vote for the government candidate because they didn't have job. We must be intentional and deliberate about providing job for our people so we can think that they listen or the president. They empower them. I submit. We are politicizing the New Talk Intl, Mr. President of the Senate, the Civil Police, especially us for the rescue government. Our people say we move. Say what? 1 minute, I think. No, let's go 1 minute. Our people say we need. I beg you, Senator Moise. I want to land on something here. Even if you get 5%, the sex that you get, they say you mean. Even if the fact, so they just say, no, maybe you're not lucky. I don't get something from that person. The general perception is a public official, especially when people, they mean. Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. President of the Senate, more than 20,000.
So at this moment, the many members of the press could say few of our positions here. And this position here represents, our position represents the position of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Intl Coalition for Democratic Change. So, it is binding on all of our supporters, the young people that constitute the largest segment of the Coalition for Democratic Change. And we take full ownership and responsibility. And we do not owe anyone an apology for what will be said and what will be articulated on behalf of the millions of young people under the bailiwick and banner of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Indomitable Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. And so we begin with the situation of the Ministry of Mines. We, as per our intelligence, the demagogue from Foya, the narcissistic chauvinist and black fascist mafia from Foya, has waged war on men who have decided not to dance at her whims and caprices. Let me repeat. The Foya Mafia, the political demagogue, have decided to men who have refused, who have rejected his offers, a plan to steal from the masses' resources, to loot and deplete state covers. Men who have refused to bow to her whims and caprices. Ministerial lands, mines. It can be recalled that Joseph Human Archive, who has several interests, partnership, dubious bookers, partnership with dangerous mining corporations, foreign mining corporations in the country. It is an attempt to protect paddlers, criminals who have come to infiltrate the mining system, the mining sector of our country. We were told that after he was issued millions of dollars by these mine owners and big corporations in the sector, the only crime by one of his immediate deputies will pay the rest of the guys, the comrades.
And on the economic and corruption crimes code, that is going to be perpetual. It's going to be perpetual in the sense that it will be like any other code, but it will deal exclusively with corruption, economic crime, corruption, and its related offenses. So that is going to be perpetual. So it will be like any other code. But these two codes are created under the auspices of the Liberian Constitution and all of the criminal laws on our books and law against humanity. There are also law against humanity that govern war or that govern, everything that people do. So those are stipulated, are enumerated in the war crime code. But the Liberian Constitution is the first law, is the highest to prevail. The second will be the penal code of the criminal laws will also prevail. Then the international humanitarian law will prevail. So those three will be used in the process. I mean, those three will be used in the process. Okay, so and when the courts are tried, when the trial go on, if you are found guilty in one of these courts, you will take your appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will hear your appeal. And whatever the Supreme Court will say will be final. We are acting within the scope of our mandate to make subordinate courts inferior to the Supreme Court. So any court we're establishing will be below the Supreme Court. of Liberia. So every transaction from there, every appeal from there, you will take appeal to the Supreme Court. Whether it's a war crime court, or the economic and corruption courts, court, you will go to the Supreme Court for appeal. That's what we have authority to do. So that's why we're creating this court at this time. It's within the framework of the Liberian Constitution. We do not have the mandate to knowingly violate our own Constitution. So that's the rationale. So that is a half oral summary of the 2-page release. When you get it, you will see it. But basically, that's the highlights. And now, under the 2 statutes that we're going to create, the one for the war crime code are conditional. It's in committee room. The committee room will follow up through the legislature, will follow up with the executive, where they can create, where they can do some of these things. For example, the motion that was read today by one of our colleagues is that there should be what? There should be conditionality to the creation of this code. For example, the motion is calling for a study on the financial impact, and financial impact assessment should be done, because in the act there will be budgetary appropriation by the national government as well as donor funding requests. So if everybody work together, then it will be smooth. So that will constitute the financial impact studies. They will get all those information. We'll consult each other from time to time, and then we'll finally pass that bill. So those are other things in terms of the facility for the war crime. There will need to be established, security environment, establishment for the war crime code, witness protection, whistleblowing. All these things are in the act. You'll get to see. And then for the war crime, there will be one major code, and there will be regional codes in some of the country, so that if there are more suspects to be tried, they will go on concurrently. Yeah, so basically, that's what it is. So that's the generality, that's the highlights of the 2 codes. And if there's any specific question, I'll be glad to take it so that I don't want to keep you too long.
Okay.
The person, the copy is here. We'll make it available to you.
Yeah, so we'll take a few questions from Peggy there. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Lincoln G. Peterson. I work for the New Time newspaper. I take keen interest in the bill and looking at the President Executive Order establishing the Office of the World Economic Crimes Court. So, because this is something that is very important, but it somehow looks confusable. So I want you to provide a clarity. What is the difference between this that you're calling for and that of the executive order by the President establishing the Office of the World Economic Crimes Court? I just want you to explain it, that somebody will understand before they get things twisted. And the next thing, follow will come from there. Recently.
So let me answer the one before myself get confused. The executive order is a temporary law.
Okay.
It's act into law for 1 year, and it's renewable. The president will renew it as the period ends. Now, there are people calling for war crime code, that have been lingering for some time. Now, the legislature will have to act, and we're trying to act in keeping with our constitution. The Constitution of Liberia says we can create code inferior to the Supreme Court. So some will have criminal code, A, B, C, and all of that. We can create a special criminal code that will deal with war crimes. And that war crime will have cognizance over the penal code, the Liberia penal code. But will also be able to deal with international humanitarian laws. Okay? They will be allowed, Liberia are part of some of those humanitarian laws. So they will all be utilized, they will all be used by the judges that will be appointed for the war crime. They will take cognizance of the international humanitarian law. They will take cognizance of the penal laws of Liberia, okay, and they will take cognizance of the Constitution of Liberia. The Constitution of Liberia will have the right to due process one thing you say can be used.
Okay, so currently, the Office of the War Crime Court have made some efforts.
Okay.
My mistake, I think next year they are post to the court, and after a month, but they are being issued
Okay, folks, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. Many thanks for joining the conversation on this wonderful Thursday, morning, the 30th day in the month of October. It's good to be here on this day. I'd like to say to all of you, this is the People's Program in the Morning Ride, and I'm Wiki Brooks here with the team as well, Ambassador Vice alongside, and Sakano controls the video and sound on this wonderful presentation that promises to be very stimulative and very thought provocative. Our focus going to be on the first half. Talking point this morning is strictly at the national legislature. We listen to some of the past folks who serve in key positions. I want you to listen to Honorable Ascar talking about some of the concessions, those who sign, and how some foreign embassy and officials will arm towards decisions from the executive and all of these things. But these are folks who sat in positions, but yet after leaving, they come back to tell us these things. The first branch of government is under the spotlight. We're getting to hear some of these things, and we're going to talk about Liberia's call she has made in terms of our visa to the United States. So, folks, welcome. Let's have a good time together. Keep following the broadcast, but while you also following, you have a chance to win some cash. You go to play Radio THKOOL cash giveaway on your Lone Star MTN mobile account. You play multiple times, 2 times, 3 times. It's $100 Liberian or 70 cents US. $100 Liberian or 70 cents US. You got *799 *11#. Are the numbers. Let me say good morning to Mrs. Zeze EBN, Tingas Valley, Mrs. Dorothy BN. Good morning to Salome BN as well, and Eden Blessing BN, and to the entire folks in Tingas Village. But welcome. Let's have a good time.
Document or bill or resolution, power that authority, there's no way success bogus agreement can be signed. Chairman on the executive can sign. The last one, vice president, usually, sometimes they want to evade and they usually let it pretend to resign. If you notice it. Yeah, sometimes they want to evade, sometimes they say, I don't want my name to be on it, so they allow it to pretend to resign. Sometimes they stay, sometimes I'm not saying all of the time. Okay, so that power, that authority, there's no way success bogus agreement can be signed. Or a budget passed, then you exclude the vice president of the country. And with the vice president's signature on the budget, you know what I mean, the signature, there are 4 signatures from the Senate and the House combined. The Speaker and the Chief Clerk. On any document, any legal document, or bill, or resolution.
The committee also categorically reject offers of corruption, offers of bribery, offers of bribery, corruption for big man owners, big man corporations in the mining sector. And because women pay, we have disagreed with women pay. Women pay is not part of our party, it's not part of our movement. But when people stand up for truth, like George Orwell said, George Orwell, who wrote the book The Animal Farm, in one of his writings, he said, during the time of universal deceit, standing for the truth and telling the truth is the bold act of the patriot and the nationalists. So when people stand for the truth, you do not dismiss them. When people stand for the truth, to reject bribery, corruption, you do not sabotage their operations, conspire with economic recidivists, criminals, bandits in the mining sector. And we say salute to Women Pay for standing against Joseph Human Bakai in an attempt to bankroll the mining system to protect the selfish and parochial interests of few macro-nationalists and few friends who are still wrong, and that for Women Pay to have categorically rejected offers for a friends in the mining sector, it led to his unprecedented dismissal. That dismissal is not born on anything pertaining to corruption, but it's born on a rejection of the president's offer to siphon and funnel, to deplete and obliterate state covers and state resources in an already struggling economic environment. This is wrong, and Baga has to be called to order. He has to desist. He has to desist. We can understand that Baga has a very insatiable appetite for material prosperity, but it cannot be done at the detriment of the poor masses and the aggrieved masses of our people. We can understand that Baga wants to finish his mansion he's building in 4 years, because he's not coming back anytime, anywhere around the presidency 2029. So, Congress, Women Pay, Carlos, we say to you, thank you for standing to the face of the last mafia of the old order, the last surviving mafia of the retrograde Chewy party, the last mafia of the oligarchy Chewy party, the last demagogue of the political elite and the status quo of Liberia's boiling politics. Thank you, Congress, Women Pay, and the rest of the Congress for standing, for rejecting offers for corrupt manners, corrupt investors, for rejecting Baga if that is disrespect, and that Baga took his job, and that you were dismissed. We say to you, it is better to go with your dismissal, than to conspire against the resources, the citizens of the Republic of Liberia.
Manda, wait. Down, corrupt Baga, down. Down, corrupt Baga, down.
Yo, integrity first. Yo.
The UP is concerned about the 10 million mansion that the government, up to now, since news broke out about the 10 million condominium mansion duplex being built in Foya, the Jubilee is asking questions and the Jubilee is demanding answers. We have heard and have listened to conflicting revelations from key government officials about the news that broke out on the account of the president's 10 million mansion condominium being built in Foya. The little girl who is a press secretary to the president and inexperienced intellectual and political non-entity came publicly and could not get an exact opinion and account to the population of the country. The board at the Ministry of Information about the global Jita fleet and caricature of the first order, Daniel Sando, could not give a clear account on how the president managed and how 10 million been supported and stolen from labyrinth covers to build condominiums and mansions for the Foya Mafia, the last surviving Foya Mafia. Wait.
Yo,
And so we are concerned because very soon the youth league will be demanding that mansion be turned over to the brown people. That mansion be turned over to JFK. That mansion be turned over to all government hospitals. Should be an annex to PD Hospital. Should be an annex to the 14 Medical Hospital. Should be an annex to the Emirate Hospital. In a society, in a country where the masses of our people do not have access to advanced medical facilities, and patients have been rejected on the account that there's no medicine for them. The last ruthless, incompetent octogenarian, the mafia from Foya, in his gross insensitivity, does not care about the masses of the people and their accumulated grievances. What he cares on, what he cares about, is to build that mansion when the masses of the people are languishing poverty and destitution. The Youth League of the Revolutionary Coalition for Democratic Change. Wow. We are working in modalities. We are contemplating to rally our people in Foya. We are contemplating to rally our people in Visible. We are contemplating to rally our people in Zozo, in Kolaun, to tell them that this liability and parasite of a historical mistake in Bakai has brought before you disgrace and national embarrassment. While your roles are still languishing in tata de millions, while your roles are still languishing in antediluvians, while your roles are still languishing in deplorable conditions, a heartless dictator, reckless political demagogue, yes, about building for himself condominium mansions, building for himself mansions, condominium, not just ordinary, but 10 million. It's scary when schools in the rural areas do not have chairs, do not have computer labs, do not have the requisite instructors that are necessary to expanding the productive capacity of the educational system of our country. We want to register that clearly to the media, to the masses of our people, that concrete revolutionary actions will be taken under the banner of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Coalition for Democratic Change to determine as well how that mansion can be given to JFK. The people of Foya don't have to leave local country to come to JFK when there are cases, critical medical cases. The people of Pisibu do not have to go to Bon County, Zozo. They don't have to go to Bon County. When there are medical cases, they don't go to Nima. When there are mental health cases in Lofa County. When we thought that it was a health center that should be turned over, and today it was a situation of irony. Instead of being used and being put at the service of the masses of the people, the selfish, historical geography, last surviving mafia of the old order, the narcissistic, chauvinist, and black fascist demagogue in Joseph Human Bwaka is concentrating governance in primitive accumulation of wealth at the detriment of the poor masses of the people. So people of Foya get ready, Lofa, get ready to take over that mansion and turn it over to the health system in Foya so that you can treat curable diseases so that your health system can be better. The third concern of the youth league, the position of the youth league, has to do with the rape issue in our country.
Guilty in one of these courts, you will take your appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will hear your appeal. And whatever the Supreme Court will say will be final. We are acting within the scope of our mandate to make subordinate courts inferior to the Supreme Court. So any court we're establishing will be below the Supreme Court of Liberia. So every transaction from there, every appeal from there, you will take appeal to the Supreme Court. Whether it's a war crime court, whether the economic and corruption courts, and the court, you will go to the Supreme Court for appeal. That's what we have authority to do. So that's why we're creating this court at this time. It's within the framework of the Liberian Constitution. We do not have the mandate to knowingly violate our own Constitution. So that's the rationale. So that is a half oral summary of the 2-page release. When you get it, you will see it. But basically, that's the highlights. And then under the 2 statutes that we're going to create, the one for the war crime code are conditional. It's in committee room. The committee room will follow up through the legislature, will follow up with the executive, where they can create, where they can do some of these things. For example, the motion that was read today.
So, folks, this is the morning ride with Sydney here, and I want you to understand this in the words of Moses Ascagre. But then, as a city representative, and that's why we have brought the legislative branch of government under the spotlight this morning, specifically the House of Representatives. And he said, a lot of the lawmakers are harboring the fear of not being re-elected. So they do just what they do. Elected. But then he was a sitting representative. I thought to play this old tape. That's what I said. Are you noticing this? What's the school card? These are folks very close to 2 years. Some of them, they ordered the promises, the manifestos, they presented to you over a period of time. But you have questioned the president's decision to have this person appointed, remove, dismiss, replace, or reshuffle, and all of these things. But these are the lawmakers that you go to elect. And Honorable Gray, while sitting as a representative, was able to say, look, that's the fear of some of the lawmakers. And I hope some of the lawmakers will be able to call this morning to say as to what they're concerned, because they were elected to serve the people for 6 years. And what are the more focused on the kind of jobs they're supposed to do, the capital functions? Or they have all this fear that if I don't do this, I will not be re-elected, so I got to do this, they know that they will not be re-elected, so they are not accountable to the folks that represented them in terms of elections, people who campaigned, people who voted, what are you from this party or not from that party, but yet you are the leader, you see. So, but we hear some of these things. We're taking you back to memory lane. You know, why? And you listen to even some of the lawmakers who are well seated at this time and how they speak. I want you to listen to all of these things, and you would listen and speak your mind on issues as we talk about it. I'm with you, folks, this morning on the morning drive. And please, while you're following the broadcast, follow our THKOOL Radio online, THKOOL 91.9. I want you to also, you have the chance to win for yourself some cash. You dial *799 *11 hash on your Lone Star MTN mobile account. You play $100 Liberian or 70 cents. You play multiple times, you have the chance to win for yourself 4,000. Listen, this moment.
Or they will consider us, etc. to say, oh, he didn't perform. Performance rate should not be measured on kind. Performance rate should be measured on the legislation you submitted. It should be measured on your advocacy, your stance on a particular issue for your people. It should be measured on the basis of your oversight responsibility. But do people follow that? So we need to teach.
You listen to Honorable Gray. But then, he's saying, or he said at the time, that performance, the grade, the scorecard, should not be mentioned on the handout from lawmakers, but rather their reputation, their oversight, and lawmaking. But did he do that? Are we seeing that in the electorates? This is a major question to some of you, because that's how you grade some of the lawmakers. That's why we're bringing it under the spotlight. Representatives, senators, you grade it on the issue of what they gave to you, and you think that's how they become good lawmakers. But are they performing the key cardinal functions? So you listen to Honorable Gray. Today, he's no longer a lawmaker, but while sitting in the position, these are some of the things he said today. He wants to go back 12 years, and we're still hearing this from some of the lawmakers now.
Cannot. Performance rate should be measured on the legislation. Was his oversight? He was one of the best in the district. For example, I was going for a senator, but then I was going to support Assembly, the rich district. As you know, understands the politics. But he called himself for point of this veteran. Did he do representation for his people? Yes. Did he submit bills? Yes. Was his oversight? He was one of the best in the history of legislative politics. But unfortunately, because he may not have carried money or food, or they will consider gas, etc. to say, oh, he didn't perform. Performance rate should not be measured on kind of. Performance rate should be measured on the legislation you submitted. It should be measured on your advocacy, your stance on a particular issue for your people. It should be measured on the basis of your oversight responsibility. But do people follow that? So we need to teach both sides. We need to create both awareness. Okay?
Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Our distinguished and Hawaii Speaker of the Liberian Legislature, members of the THKOOL, members of the majority, staffers of this Sanctuary, members of the Folk Estate, distinguished one and all. Let me begin by saying that you couldn't have the job and you want to join witchcraft. Let me repeat. You couldn't have the job and you want to join witchcraft. You either want to be an initiative, but you cannot eat all of our babies. Today is the choosing of the manifestation and pragmatic manifestation of the journey to winning the 2023 general and presidential election in our people. Madam Vice President, the genius of Vice Presidents in the history of our country. Your presence here today has definitely reinvigorated the spirit of this majority status. But your presence here today is a manifestation of a clear-cut victory, and January of 2024 you will be re-inaugurated as that president. To our president who cannot be here, and who is not a member of the legislature, but has an unprecedented and huge amount of support for the majority black of status in the legislature of the Republic of Liberia. Mr. President, we want to reaffirm
We for war, you not for war. We won by saying no lying to war. So on mention on S president that was on one.
So, folks, this is how I like to welcome you again. You know, most of the time, these things we always take place in our country. You know, we look at folks that we stood in the rain and the sun to have them elected as representatives, as senators, president, vice president, and the president. Once elected, we go on to appoint people in positions, and at times they perform, you happy or you dissatisfied, you know, based on the political line, or you have the clear understanding of the function of which they've been appointed into. But this is it, and we talk about these things. You see, some of you today, you can't wait for 2029 because you have already made up your mind to have some of the lawmakers replaced because of how they have performed in the last couple of years, and you have not been able to feel or have never felt the representation, the oversight, and lawmaking. And some of them are more afraid that they will not be re-elected, so they're doing exactly what they want to do because they know you will not have them re-elected. So what they will do, they don't place themselves in a position where they will be accountable. They will be transparent in their leadership to you. They rather go to anything that will come in terms of how they might work for themselves. But today, you are the ones who are complaining. You see, you are the electorate, and you are the one who are to evaluate those performances from your lawmaker. You got the metrics. You will be able to assess and watch some of the policy and areas, election results, and how they are performing in all of these things. You know the sources of these individuals, you know, who you elected, whether they are doing it, whether they are not. But there are always mixed reaction how these people. Today the story is there. The sheriffs are in. And we want you. Look, be honest. Because even some of you who voted for people based on party line, you are disappointed. You know, What have you noticed that your lawmaker that you elected probably having a fear that he or she would not be re-elected, so they don't see themselves being answerable or transparent or accountable to folks who they are leading today in the district, in the counties. It's about, I'm already know that these people will not re-elect me, so I don't have to have anything to do with it. How are we judging our lawmakers? Are we judging them on the basis of the handout? Are we judging them on the basis that you can go to their homes, or you see them driving past, or we are finally looking at these people and say, look, let's look at the cardinal functions of the lawmaker. Lawmaking, representation, oversight. You know, what is it based on the handout? Or how do we change the narratives that these people do not come to position and think that I already know the people will not really let me, so I don't have to account to them. I don't have to be transparent. Nobody and myself have this issue of me being answerable for my stewardship. I will lead in a way, a form, manner I will, because I know them, they will not really let me. It says something now that affecting this country. And if so, how do we change it? How do we get our lawmakers being connected to us and telling them and why they do the same? You know, because we still see some of our lawmakers, the way they speak on issues and their whole lot. So, but while you're there, you can win for yourself some cash this morning. You just play multiple times. You dial *799 *11 hash, $100 or 70 cents. You play Radio Entertainment Cool Cash giveaway on your Lone Star MTN mobile account. You win for yourself some money this morning. And I'd like to say good morning to all of you who followed the broadcast on this wonderful, wonderful day. So we you know, sometimes the folks are in the position, they speak on some of the issues. But when they are other positions, and all of these things, they live at the expense of the poor tax-paying people. Yeah. But sometimes you hear these things, what people say. But you hear some of your lawmakers. I want you to listen to Honorable Thomas Yan and Natl as well. You know, because
weeks ago, I was invited by the governor of Cote d'Ivoire, the senators in Cote d'Ivoire, to come and celebrate the Independence Day with them. Why I was not there, I decided to follow up on the electricity supply to Liberia. And we went to a site where we are doing a mega construction, Chinese are doing a mega construction of transformers supposed to supply electricity to Liberia. While we were doing the inspection, the senator told me that my colleagues asked me to inform me that the Liberian government is not paying the Liberia. That issue was on the floor in the Senate in Cote d'Ivoire 2 times. Since you are going to meet with the senator from Liberia, please remind him that the government of Liberia is not paying the Liberia. So I'm bringing this issue to you that we are receiving the electricity supply from Cote d'Ivoire, but we are not paying our bill. By December of this year, the electricity supply from Cote d'Ivoire.
Good evening to Spring TV and good evening to
it has not been very long, but it's not ready.
We're dealing to file a session in a negative connotation against the House of Representatives members in the following category. Will be
you know, we pray these things to bring to the spotlight these lawmakers you elected, how they have gone. But yet, you will see the folks who look at the law and don't abide by it, but you still give them a bigger position. This is the current senator named Samuel Kuka, who was the head of the majority bloc that the Supreme Court said ultra-violent and they were not legitimate. But yet and say the people of Nima County saw this man as the most fit person to replace the late Prince Johnson as Senator of Nima County. Today, he's Senator after being representative. Today, the Deputy Speaker from the former ruling party also sided with them, and he was expelled from his party. But look, it's time you evaluate your lawmakers now. You stood in the rain and the sun for these people. We are pretty close to 2 years of the governance system. But we're taking you back to memory lane. So you look at these people. What the scorecard of your lawmakers? Because some of you even have voted for them from based on political line. You did not take your time critically to scrutinize them, to probably say, look, this person can do this, this person can do that. That's why I'm voting. But you did it on based on tribal line, religious line, political line, and all of these things. We're playing you these things for you to understand.
The facts of what you say, I mean, clarifying.
About colleagues is that there should be what? There should be conditionality to the creation of this school. For example, the motion is calling for a study on the financial impact, and financial impact assessment should be done because in the act there will be budgetary appropriation by the national government as well as donor funding requests. So if everybody work together, then it will be smooth. So that will constitute the financial impact studies. They will get all those information. We'll consult each other from time to time, and then we'll finally pass that bill. So those are other things in terms of the facility for the war crime. There will need to be established, security environment, establishment for the war crime code, witness protection, whistleblowing. All these things are in the act.
When will we have our lawmakers taking their colleagues to tax for some of the allegations? Because these things are spilled out and the folks outside don't have the kind of power to carry the lawmaker, even though they don't know. We have spelled it or we have educated them in the process how their lawmakers can be removed. But these are things, but you will not say, oh yeah, they carry the lawmaker to trial. All of these allegations against the former speaker, he was never tried for it. When they also attack that burned the John Chimmer, that he and other colleagues will be tried for. But now you said this one, the former speaker made some of these allegations, what are these things? Now, your scorecard for your lawmaker, that's what I. I'm so disdained this morning.
Our lawmakers, the folks who elected them, they're not serious. Even the lawmakers, they're not serious. Some of them, as a matter of fact. There are a lot of great and astute lawmakers who are still keeping up the people of Liberia so high on the agenda. But the lawmaker that one lawmaker I follow, every time when he in section, even when he's trying to propound issues, he's dangling. He forces us to be correcting him.
Oh.
Coca? Yeah.
But yet, the people claim that Coca has not done much, or he did not do much while serving as representative.
Yeah.
But yet, Coca is more even concerned, and this is the part we have had with most of the lawmakers in this country. Send the Senator or Senator Coca to replace Senator Prince Johnson. He's more concerned about being seen as a godfather than doing the people's job. I don't know. Is that what the people elected you for?
The last time I heard the honorable were defining lawmaker and I'm not law, elders and chiefs. I said, wow.
You heard the audio that we played. Former Representative Ascarbe, who said 12 years.
Yeah.
Chairman or executive. Now, he said, while he was sitting, he said, this is the fear. Most of the lawmakers are always afraid of not being re-elected. So probably that's the reason why they can, account to the people. So maybe say, me I already know that. So you just be reckless in your representation.
Sure.
The cardinal function you don't perform in. You say, but I already know the poll not re-elected.
Not re-elected. So just do what I want to do. Yes. You know, like you said something earlier on. This senator is so much concerned that he being a co-founder.
And that's the concentration.
And it brought some rift between him and the vice president. And that coordination that Nehemiah thought were going to exist between them is no longer what has been seen from some of the minds.
Just look at Monserrato, or the 15 counties. You look at most of the lawmakers, not all. They're reading a history that says, like I would do a typical example in Monserrato district number 4. The electors, there's this belief that they can only get one term. And Honorable Marcus someone now is fighting to see how best he can change that narrative. That look, this district wouldn't know how to make way representative for one term. Other than that, you out. Now, he's there with his folks wanting to be re-elected. There are a lot of great things he's doing, but is he doing it in the real interest of knowing his cardinal function? That's why he do it, or he's doing it because of a re-election.
He want to retain the position.
Yeah.
So he will go at every length.
Yeah.
Just to please the voters and say, yeah, let me be this.
And we the electrics, are we judging these people on the performance or the tax that the Constitution provides that they perform while being elected and represented, or judging them on the basis of the hand out?
Because
how much they get us, that's how we think that they making good representation.
Because the lawmaker will fight everything. Like you said earlier on, the day now he know that he ain't going back to the poll for re-election, he won't do anything.
But yeah, who got it?
Yeah.
It's just simple.
Yes. And that's how a lot of them become so much like a taxicon. They renege on their responsibility. They say they don't care because they have already exerted all of their energies to convince the electorate that they are now re-elected them to position. So they put their cardinal responsibility will no longer be the focus. You heard last time from one of the strong members of the CDC was telling the senator of Nima County to run, to contest.
He said, you know you can be vice president.
You can be vice president. You see that? And there are reports of even the current vice president before he became vice president were also dangling between the field of the CDC and the United Party.
Yeah, he also described the current president in also
Sure. You see, we ought to be concerned about how we are politicking.
Yeah.
Because
we listen to the recording, the late Senator Prince Johnson said they supported this government on the basis to some extent that they don't go for the issue of war crime code.
Yeah.
He said he went to meet and the current vice president, then senator at the time, to Jeremiah Kun. Jeremiah said, oh, I thought we elected it here, now for this thing to happen. Then the man talking about war crime code. He said Jeremiah Kun gave 5,000 say go for lawyer.
The old man was 2 years vice president who be behind that. He come now, he won't prosecute us.
Yeah.
So go to a lawyer.
He said my son.
Yeah, my own son.
My own son. 5,000 you guys give me some go for lawyer. You know, you see how people now the impasse that we had. This is the man who paraded himself as the ringleader.
Yeah.
The people of Nima County or the people of Lagos, they still saw this man as somebody who could be senator. They're the man now.
Yeah.
Listen to the man count. And these allegations against one another, they have not been able to prosecute any one of the colleagues and say, look, we are not here by ourselves. I don't know why the people think that they got themselves there other than people electing them.
Yeah.
And they just feel they do what they want to do. That's Senator Cook ahead now. Listen to him.
So for this reason, we thought it wise to swiftly respond to the alleged allegation against us so that the public will get the role of side of the story.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sir.
In Badova, this is the irony of the entire thing. The men left the impasse at the horse while they after sitting and telling people you are the real leader to make sure that the man is removed. He left the people with the confusion and went and started running for senatorial position. And the people still did not see no reason. They said no. They left the man and they left the man finished causing problem downstairs. The man cleared upstairs. And he senator.
He didn't nothing.
Even up to this time, he has not been able to address anything.
No, they will handle it. They will handle that issue.
Yeah, I know the vest.
In terms of the structure of our organization, it is given always upon our.
The Liberian people electing you to go represent them. You said that your organization is AC from the team. You know, me I know I'm feeling some things that people causing all this money. I'm feeling it. Get listen to me.
It is given always upon our spokesperson who reads the communication whenever it runs out. The person will now be promo of this one number one name accounting. Number two, sorry, to read our communication involving the allegation later against us. Thank you very much.
In Badova, we're not denigrating anybody. We just want, we're picturing the legislature.
Yeah, they cannot put you elect.
Yeah, they cannot put you elect. Imagine a man, he from Nimao, the man do not even know the district the man represents.
Yeah.
He said the man who, but then when they had a problem at a place, that the spokesperson, he said the man was the spokesperson, but he know the district the man from. The man is correcting him. Y'all listen to the thing this morning.
Our communication involving the allegation later to read our communication involving the person will now be promo of this one number one name accounting. Number two,
the man who was a representative.
He sitting as a representative. He had a man from the same county.
Yeah, you know.
You cause problem for them to remove the speaker. But the man in the organization, you say that we are your organization. To remove, now so you won't tell me, you know the man, the man is correct. She followed the man is correcting him.
Yeah. Then I tell him again, I know my man.
He said the man in that position, the man is part of the group, but he said, and he had the man from the same country. He said the man that a spokesperson, the man who can read all the things, but the man from this grade too. They want to make it too. Y'all get the kind of player you elect.
And how they get five laws or the laws?
The man gone, the man is not concerned about how he will represent the poor as senator. The man is talking about he should be seen as the governor. Yeah. That the position they elected you for. Why you guys oppose it? Tell they say the history of the district, the program have you read letters so that your entire focus.
Yeah.
You hold honorable grade. He said that's the fear most of the time the lawmakers are always having. So that's why they can behave.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Our communication involving thank you, but involving the allegation to read communication whenever it's going out. The person will now be promo of this one number one name accounting. Number two, to read our communication involving allegation later again. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Promo for subsequent review.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to our
you the messenger to go
out there.
So you're the messenger to go. You know what? We district represent.
Y'all listen. You know why we're playing it in? Because even up to this time, electorates, the people who cause the problem at the lower house that today will go into China and ask them, we have not been able to prosecute these people. You people have not been able to question your lawmakers and say, look, you see what you did? You know, but these are folks who told you that they've gone there to represent you. They're there for lawmaking. They're there for oversight and representation. What? But are the people who were, you know, in Ambassador VAR, the thing is so disgraceful that even the people in Lima County or Liberia, while Samuel Boga was leading his group and saying he was the ring leader, he left the parliament and the post still saw him as the leader, they elected him as senator.
Yeah.
But they expect good decision to come from the kind of people. How that work?
The man say want to mock. He even know his colleague. As a matter of fact, you form part of the caucus of the county.
Imagine on
a besides you have been a representative before coming to the senator's position. You don't even know what the position you're friend in? Your colleague?
Ambassador VAR, the audio will even play earlier. Ambassador Gray is saying, so you knew all of these things. That Booker's concession was signed. Then he said, don't mind the embassies you see all around.
Yeah.
They protect concessions and the citizens. Whether it is illegal or not.
Yes.
You're telling, you know.
After you serve in a position, you are privileged to serve at level chair or executive there.
So how can people come to the country?
Then you tell you say, sometimes when the tables went on there, say you executive, you can stand, you can chair.
Yeah.
And you know, there's one thing that the representative I told former Representative Grace to shut up. Because number one, the vice president is not a representative. I mean, he's not a senator.
Yeah.
When the senator vote, it's compulsory that the vice president must effect the signature on that document. But he got no power. When the people vote, a majority vote in the favor of this thing here, he has to effect the signature to that. He has no power to change anything.
So what
how is he saying that if the senators vote, they reach the vice president to sign? You will say, "Boy, signing."
We're going back. That, you know, we are the legislature. We're not today. Thursday, that section, the sheriffs are here.
And this is the reason why the quality of legislators we elect determine the quality of decision they make.
But that just listen to people who cause problem. They ran from there, but the people still did not see anything
to jump over party, you were jumping good, you were dancing good. Time to do the work when you were called to do now. He did the mocking.
Yeah, the man who he said the man foundation number 1 and mention number 2. But then the focus was how to get fanatic over out.
Yeah.
So we couldn't remember the man they said, but saw them from the same country.
Let me hear that thing again. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good evening to our
Ambassador VAR, I'm coming to they call the man chairman for rebel group because the Supreme Court said the people are wrong. They gave him that kind of title and honor. But today, Ambassador VAR, we're still struggling to settle. We're still struggling to know who really did what they did. There are folks who are staying here pre-trial detainees.
Yes.
Behind bars for this, but we are not concerned about that. We put money in the budget for renovation. We're up going through prosecution.
Yeah.
We go to China to ask China to pick and help out to renovate. We all bring people to vote.
And that process, the program is on the other side, lollipop. But if that process really works, it will undermine the investigation.
We're not setting no example.
It will undermine the investigation. If the case is still in court, if the case is still at the level of investigation and they start to renovate that joint chamber, Ambassador, we will not
get with that one tendency in this country we are late with where you get. I mean, you are getting both in the
yes.
The next thing you will hear.
Because if the first play before January, the president going there to meet them.
Yeah.
So I mean that the case is finished. You see there? They will just have other librarians, poor librarians who are being alleged, and the mean doers who orchestrate those things will not be seen because they are lawmakers. This country, the people can mean to do things. Listen to the lawmaker.
Thank God the time for me going to America is just very close now. Thank God.
Now, tell me what is the more for subsequent more. This one number 1 in my county. Number 2.
Now the one side can get over.
You
can't even get a man chest.
The allegation area against that. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to you.
And then, for the war crime, there will be one major court, and there will be regional courts in some of the country, so that if there are more suspects to be tried, they will go on concurrently. Yeah, so basically, that's what it is. So that's the generality, that's the highlights of the two courts. And if there's any specific question, I'll be glad to take it so that I don't to keep you too long.
Okay.
The person, the copy is here. We'll make it available to you.
Yeah, so we'll take a few questions from Billy there. Okay, go ahead.
My name is Lincoln G. Peterson. I write for the New Dawn newspaper. I take keen interest in the bill and looking at the President Executive Order establishing the Office of the World Economic Crimes Court. So, because this is something that is very important, but it's somehow...
No, not speaker, but you're addressing the public, you referring to him as speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like people you say they're elected, we hear some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
To provide a clarity, what is the difference between this that you're calling for and that of the executive order by the president establishing the Office of the World Economic Crimes Court? I just want you to explain it that somebody will understand before they get things twisted. And the next thing, affordable will come from there. Recently.
So let me answer the one before myself get confused. The executive order is a temporary law.
Okay.
It's act interim law for 1 year, and it's renewable. The president will renew it as the period ends. Now, there are people calling for war crime code, that have been lingering for some time. Now, the legislature will have to act, and we're trying to act in keeping with our constitution. The Constitutional Librarian said we can create code inferior to the Supreme Court. So, since we have criminal code, A, B, C, and all of that, we can create a special criminal code that will deal with war crimes. And that war crime will have cognizance over the penal code, the Liberian penal code. But we'll also be able to deal with international humanitarian laws. Okay? There will be a Liberian party to some of those humanitarian laws. So they will all be utilized, they will all be used by the judges that will be appointed for the war crime. They will take cognizance of the international humanitarian law. They will take cognizance of the penal laws of Liberia. Okay? And they will take cognizance of the Constitution of Liberia. The Constitution of Liberia will have the right to due process. And one thing you say can be used.
Okay, so currently, the Office of the War Crime Court have made some efforts.
Okay.
This is the troubling part of it, and I want Liberians to understand. That's why we're bringing our legislators under the spotlight. You know, Speaker Kofa accused one major business institution, Boulevard Palace, calling a particular room where money are distributed.
Yeah.
And
well,
that
has a secret meeting.
Imagine, in that institution yet to be prosecuted, that they are harboring and abetting corruption into our country, knowing that we understand our business is running, but room being called. The last time again, when he was speaking, when they had the press conference, he also spoke about the folks who are contributing to the to the construction of the new party headquarters for the Unity Party. 18% for the Unity Party. If you want to know the name, you should meet him at the room. He called it again.
Yeah.
But these are folks we just allow them war scot-free, and nobody care to question and answer this and to ask people. You can account for a situation and about these allegations, and we just allow these things. People spill out in position anything they want to say, and nobody cares to say. But you want to see a better library? How do we have a better library when we keep having these people in position?
Yeah.
And things that change will change.
It's affecting the country.
Yeah.
You see?
Somebody telling you about millions of dollars that will get missing in thin air. But we are not concerned We not worry about how drugs are not in the hospitals. We not worry about how kids are sitting on the floor. We not worry about how schools are de-roofed in other parts of the country. We not worry about electricity. We are not concerned about lawmakers or officials of government not paying current bills, not paying water bill, but the ordinary people are the ones. Yeah. We're not concerned about our security. But these are the folks. After 2 years, evaluate them. Give the scorecard. Honorable Grace said they can be more worried about the re-election, so when they notice that they will not be re-elected, they do just what they want to do.
Yeah.
Are you also judging these people on the basis of the handouts they give you that will make them a good lawmaker? Folks, we leave it to you guys to speak of. So you are the judges out there, and you are the one who will tell us exactly that, yeah, this is this and this is that. And please speak to what we discussed. Yeah. Because some of you,
yeah, stick.
Your understanding is a complete serious problem for us.
Yeah. We'll be discussing car.
So you call us on 0775 919 919 0880 919 919. Yeah, but before that, our transport sponsor, my guy. Our prime sponsor, my guy.
Yeah.
There in Bonaz Farm, Painesville, opposite the Coma Tissue Factory, and a herbal supplement, you know, where some of you who are suffering from some of these sicknesses, then high blood pressure, low blood pressure, stroke, rheumatism, sexual transmitted diseases, and they are all out. They are doing. This is Liberia.
Yes.
It's not something.
It's recognized by the government.
Yeah, recognized, licensed by the government of Liberia. This is Liberia. This is not something imported. Right here, it is not a shrine. It's not where they say, oh, the man got Goa. The man got it. Other segment you go there and the people tell you the whole court say that your cousin, your wife, your brother, your neighbor. No, you explain your problem. They will tell you. They will give you the do's. They will tell you how to take it. They will tell you the do's and the don'ts when you're doing it, what you can take and what you can do in the process of that. They're there in Bonaz Farm. They full counted. You go there, you see testimony from other folks. You will listen to it. It's not something that you go there, you can carry sick person there and say, yeah, the man ain't sick home, and no. But there are a lot of testimonies, so we want you to go there, take advantage of it. They're in Bonaz Farm, Painesville. They're also in Central Monrovia. You can also go there. It's a Liberia a herbal supplement, licensed, honored by the government of Liberia. This is not something I import and say, oh, they got it from the other place or that other place. This right here, roots, tree barks, and other things, is a herb and easy to drink. Yeah. Not something that you drink it, you won't hold your nose. That's something that you can consume easily. So you go there, you will tell me later.
And if you are into Central Monrovia, you can go to the Marimaga office there, Central Monrovia, and you will talk to Ms. Patience Wea, and you'll be able to ask all the questions. And it's Marimaga's plan that they can be to other parts of the country, in other counties. Yeah, you can talk to Ms. Patience Wea on 0775-499-549, and you'll be able to ask all of your questions there. If you are in the Bonaz Farm end and you want to go to the office, I will call. You can talk to Mr. Prince B. Gray Sr. on 0776-369-805 and 0888-856-776, 0888-856-776. And you can ask all of your questions and they will be answered there. So Style, have joined today, and you will thank us later.
So it's time we go to the lines to talk to our callers. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Fine. I want to know, because you talked about former Speaker Kofa. I want to know, when did he that money was distributed to whatever hotel on 6th Street. And because the speakership was not in his favor again, because don't forget, he was deputy speaker. And every deputy speaker, they distributing money to that whatever hotel, you're not in the know of it. And there was one day brought it to the public that money are distributed to the hotel, and no one to know about it.
And the question now we're asking, these allegations that were brought forth, why are we not prosecuting these people? These are lawmakers and they didn't pay by tax, but they just spill it in the public and we allow them to go scot-free. Because we've been talking about where do we start from? How do we start prosecuting people? Some of the allegations should not be allegations that we just sit there and allow it. People will answer because you're talking about millions of dollars when schools are not having tax for the kids. Hospitals are out of bed. Our disabled people are struggling hard to find money for themselves. The people and all of these things. We just hear these things and leave it. Today we yet for the people to start their prosecution, but we put money in budget for renovation. We asking other countries to come help us. But those who we accuse or we charge or being part of the problem there, we say do not have the ability to say, yeah, found it, like a protocol. 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 are the two numbers. Let's talk to this caller. You're live. Good morning.
Don't hold the line.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being part of the conversation this morning. 077. Okay, let's talk to this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, everyone in the park is the name of Papa in the door to live about 3 months for our country.
Why?
Yeah, we listen to the show and we want to say thank you for the question or argument on discussion. So what I can say here is that we just need to be very wise as elected. Councillors for the now, how are we going about?
And let me ask you. You serve on district number 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Monterey County.
Yes.
Are you residing in there, or you somebody who is a resident elected as well, or you went somewhere, they truck you voted somewhere and you came back?
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to vote for family. I'm asking for you, Chairman.
I'm asking you.
You got voted right in District 3?
Did you vote in District 3 or you went somewhere?
I'm elected. I voted there.
Okay.
And I'm still voting in the district, like I said.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to our callers. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. This is coming to I think people did for, but let me say one. The month they get set for that period. Some who are really quick to the problem. Some are very quick and some are very slow. Some they don't get out. That's how look there. The bad people for the good people. For what the good people are sick. You know, but that's overshadowed by other people. Why will you be you were there? Get more addicted. So they come to tell all the people that are well, I got to pass to them when you know. Y'all need to for money. You can't sit down and say, do it. And you are vice president. You got any authority to what money. You are getting there and somebody who to overstep. Then you can't, I mean, what is this? But we are praying that this group that are there, God will bless them, and they will do power over the world. Because they are very humble God. And then who was why are you that God like this? How can many people that you don't care about the people? You can't hospital and you drop. We got political that don't take a good money. But you won't be better for other people. It's too bad for this country. Let me go this month.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Let's talk to other callers on the line. Callers on 0775 919 919 0880 919 919 to this caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, William Bros, and good morning, Natl.
Good morning, Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, thank you very much for calling from Patrick from the Philippines. Okay, we spoke about a lot of issues concerning our country when it comes to corruption, when it comes to the legislature. You know, the representative and senator, the problem with us is the voters. The voters, we don't make good decisions, so at the end of the day, we suffer the pain. They just say you mentioned Nathan Magi, other people, America Post Center, and we over 1 million voted. So we are the problem. The problem is not the people in the house. That's not the government just said it. This is what we're discussing. There is no way that prosecution can take an effective place in this country now, because all those that were working in government before that have been alleged, that were being alleged corruption by the GSC during any day, everyone of them are back in power. Those people have been appointed back into power. Everyone of them there. Look at the finance minister, for example, where Moru accused him of something like 10 billion issues. At the end of the day, who is the finance minister of the Republic of Nigeria? There is still finance minister. So we are not just serious. Look at the recommendation coming from the ombudsman who have been killed. That other institutions have already been there. The first work that they recommended, the government, the president came, because it recommended 17 that's supposed to be done by their own laws. At the end of the day, once the president killed that institution, all of the institution will definitely die. Corruption fine, we just waste our time. Let it do a game of children. The government.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Thank you. So, the first thing here is that the river, Samuel Coker was elected project by the foreign partners. How about you, project policy? On what basis did they support Samuel Coker for the president? Was it because of oil? Was it because of water? All of you supported who? Of course. So you still criticize traditional politics. I mean, why would you get angry today? President Walker has appointed more than 30 lawmakers who got to be 30 lawmakers. What's the last of them? What's the last of them? People who feel who are rejected by their people in the system are now appointed in government to get constitution. Of course, they later they put their rules and build the moment. When we come to pay that grade, who is telling you, yes, I think.
Your own army know when you already be critical and analyze. When we're talking, you give it, you start blowing, you give it. Because even former President George, people who lost election, that were even from the United Party or from the CDC, the Liberal Party, he appointed them. Why you want to now see it as a problem when we spoke about these things? Then you can tell us that we even supported Koga. Do I look like somebody who can be pushing for who to be representative, who to be senator to act?
Well, you know, the first thing I want to say, it's just clear that a young man nowadays serious.
Yeah, it's just
you don't even know about constitution, the president appointing power. Where they cut across, you don't even know that.
You know how many lawmakers under the former regime that are we can name today that are former.
But in Barcelona, not even that. The constitution gave the president a power to appoint at his will, and those both serve the will of the president.
But we're speaking specifically to the legislative branch of government. Give your scorecard when you resign.
You know, anywhere you attend the conversation, you may always come and say something else.
This is a lawmaker that going to his 12 years. He ended his first 6 years, he into his second term. Now, tell us what Honorable Samuel Elliott is doing, his representation, his oversight, and his lawmaking. What's the impact are you feeling there, and how you grade this person? And look at the legislative branch on the overall. We hear allegation of corruption. You hear that somebody say millions of dollars, they carry this plate, they will disappear. Why we are not prosecuting these people? You are the electors. Why you are not keeping it? But you just sitting there. You only hear the allegations.
And these are the people called to make laws, to represent the people.
And some of you are the folks who are caused problem for the people. Because you move into community, convince the electorates, lie to them on the basis of party politics, and don't tell the people no. You don't get the clear picture. You only want to do it. Yeah? 0775919919.
It's difficult to understand whether we are actually partisan to democracy in this country.
Good morning.
Thank you for the recommendation. My name is you are bringing up two discussion this morning. And from the discussion, I would say we the electorate, we are at fault because we have some lawmakers are elected or our put out of the election. Some of them are 100% good. The president saw some of them and elected them, and we complain that one they can lose the election and become minister or citizen. Of course, losing election is not mean you are later, or some of them they are not done well for the people. Some of them and they really well for the people. But Turkey, for years there, we are the election, we are the problem.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we keep telling people and we're trying to provide education. I think that the legislature or the national legislative branch of government, there's a need you come to this station and provide some funds because we've been giving the education. You know, most of the people don't even know the cardinal functions of the lawmakers. That's how they are rejected when they want to seek re-election. Because people feel that once you're a lawmaker, you're responsible to put food on the table of all of those in your district or in the county. You're supposed to handle the bills, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But until we can start to inform the people and educate them, provide the necessary education, say, look, these are the functions, and people can be able to track them on it. So let's look at this man representation. How well is he representing us? How well is the honorable woman representing us? Let's see some of the bills you are put on the floor that should be passing the law. Okay, let's see the oversight. You chair on this committee, or you co-chair, or you member, and let's see. People are talking about the issue of labor problem. People talking about the disabled community. You talk about health. You talk about education. Why is the national government calling those who are heading this institution to book to answer for the stewardship? You Minister of Education, why is it that we're hearing that in this county or in this district, public schools are there in deplorable condition? Why is it that Minister of Health, we are not having drugs, public health facilities? You know, these are the kind of things that we should keep our lead, but how do we evaluate them? But because we don't check on these things, and they sometimes, because when they run a campaign, they make it look like they are responsible for your well-being, they're responsible to put food on the table, to do almost everything. So you don't see these things. How do we have our people to engage communities, talk to dwellers in communities, and say, look, these are not the functions of the lawmaker. Look, lawmakers, normally they will have their friends. For me, I have a lot of lawmakers who are my friends. Yeah, we will interact, they will chip in, but that's not their response. But they do it normally based on the kind of a friendship that we have. But we're looking at the function. Are you people aware? And let's look at some of the major state allegations on some of our key leaders in the country, but that we just see and sweep it under the carpet and just leave it and don't see any outcome from these things. That's what we're discussing. You're lying.
Good morning, it's Frank Brown, Intl Foundation Group.
Go ahead, sir.
combination going strong about a lot of good questions, but when it comes to district 4, I will tell you, our representative of district number 4 is doing the work, but it comes to a private basis, not the legislative work. That's one of the things that district 4 is building. When it comes to the work of the representative, it's a private youth work, like you just said. You got a government school, you got clean a health center, but there is nothing that I've been showing in district number 4. When it's about the self-centered work of the business.
Wester,
yeah.
We want to ask you. So in pretty close to 2 years since Honorable Michael Thomas got elected, are you telling us is more about his personal well-being or his personal worth other than the district? You think the district has not been ably represented in the last 2 years?
No, when it comes to health center, when it comes to schools, that the government schools, nothing at all.
Oh, but then, but those are the things that he got elected for. That's the oversight, representation, and lawmaking. Thank you. Let's talk to other callers here.
And so, Ambassador, how fully are we following these our lawmakers? It's also important.
And that's why we've been asking you live. Go ahead.
I'm getting this key with the
Okay, Rose.
Yeah, as I was saying, you know, my country comes first. Robert said. Look at Robert said District 1 and District 2. Now, the only thing you can find them doing when they say, oh, they have a program or have a zero carry A, District 1, District 2, no development. Their roads, they don't begin something to the table to say, oh, yes, the problem is in my district. So go there and let's say they have, because they don't have nothing there to say they'll go there to go sleep. When they go 1 or 2 days, they come back. And as people we elected as elected, we never put them on the scale because they bring little or nothing to us in a damn minute. Transport their people, wait on the district, and now nothing is being done about them.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to this caller. You're live.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is THKOOL. We are calling from THKOOL. We eat and laugh. We have this problem. Because we put it into power. Can you imagine? We have still one complex bridge to cross to go to another community. Can you imagine that? And we have people in it, setting up buildings, and we elected, and they're not doing anything for us. So that, you know, the district, you're not doing anything for the district that I see. I was also surprised for a year, district hall that he constructed, and they actually ate the Testimony and talking. That is community hall where the room the achievement of. No, how many years community hall been there for? That no doing nothing. They talk of that setting. The people we just put in there, we are stubborn. We are stubborn. Because they never come with $20. Oh, go for me. That's somebody can bring back this thing. No journal. So we elect the wrong people. And we're talking about threatening our country.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning, people Wiki, and good morning, people Anna.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Martinez Makitima, joining from the Akira District number 6, most of our country, most abundant district in the US. And a very prime neighbor to Vice President Excellency Jeremiah Mampung. You know, we thank you for the topic on this question. I listened to one of your colleagues, and then they were talking about people being rejected and not appointed in the government. So let's look back. During the former president regime, former President George Weah, the issue of Biotari, who was Biotari at the time we were appointed as people?
That's what I said. All of them have done.
Don't want any argument, man, because the appointment power by the constitution given to the president is as well.
When you are rejected in your district, it means that you cannot work for your country. Is that what you tell me? If the president found that capability in you, You can work for a contract, is that what it tells you right? And the issue of somewhere, and let me say this, the district has been abandoned, the district is dying, people are going to bed on on a daily basis, while somewhere is riding 100,000 G-Wagon, like they can spray after 3 months. So I said, we have made several proposals to enough. This is our district. You are our leader. Yes, you are given this opportunity to represent us. This is what we can do to improve our district. The first thing, you can decentralize national government into your district. You serving as a representative, the two communities that make district state, the two leaders, they will serve as a representative. You serve as a speaker every year, and don't have a meeting.
Okay, thank you, Mark. You know, that's how we want to provide the kind of level of education for the electorates to know. The people are electing people because that's what you find most of the folks, they live in destitution. They are poverty-stricken people. And they think that this person will be your help. That's why you want to have, but how many persons actually know the functions of these people? To say, know the capital function. Why are we electing this person? Why this person? What if the person is making good laws for us? What if the person is actually representing us? This person is having oversight in the district to know maybe you got some industry, you got some area, you see the issue of waste management in your district and how the people handle the community, how they engage in land issue, all of these things, and calling the necessary authority. You look at security. Yeah, and you're looking at the people's health, you're looking at education, you look at the size of the population and say, look, let's see what as a part of the population, do we need to have 1 or 2 more public schools? Because maybe the 1 or 2 we got cannot absorb all of the kids who parents cannot afford to have them going to private schools because of the fees. How do we engage national government? Okay, I represent my people. I think they look at roads. The roads are bad. How do we improve, having road connectivity, community road from the next side to the other side? How do we, handle some? Okay, let's look at the health facility. Do we have only one in the district? Can this one public health facility attend or cater to other folks who are having health problems to go there, or do we now engage the Ministry of Health or engage in national government and say, look, we have to do this, we have to do that? And so these are all of the things. Let's talk to other callers on the line. You're live. Okay, let me talk to this caller. You're live.
Good morning, Wiki.
Please go ahead.
And let me say good morning to Nat. So my name is Abraham Sasimu Jero. We are doing on this people, soaking the community. So I think sometimes like people say it is good that we know the workings of the law because we follow the activities and the legislature. We all said, sometimes we criticize, we agree criticism is good, but if we know all these people functions. So Honorable Thomas have been extremely well, especially the last budget here. There were 37,000 United States dollars allocated in our budget for public schools in district number 4. So those top facilities are personally around the field, and so the different facilities bought a leader and coming to Honorable Thomas for the request in the budget here, so the people can get subsidies. So sometimes when our police sit on the radio, the family also listen into more news, because they not get or pass for money or debtors and bills, and they speak that they not require the workings of the honorable land. So I think the people try hard and do well and follow the working of the law.
And Sasawu, before you leave the line, also, you people should hold yourself liable because at times they reactionary tactics of their responding when people say things. Sometimes you have learned to take the position and educate the people and provide the necessary education to the people regularly in community engagement, sitting on the radio and having some of these things. It's not just to say, oh, the honorable is working, the honorable. Please tell the people the function of the lawmaker. You educate the people in the process. Now when people speak, then before you respond. Thank you. Let me talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is more friendly calling from the GSA room. You started talking on how to we engage other issues, maybe we're taking an example because one there is corruption or other things when you start being a story. So it comes back to your topic today. I want to let the listening public know that when it comes out from the district, because it's representing it's not doing anything for this district. But now, who can check my district representative? If other people could check my other people say, oh, because the other person from the opposition party did
Yes.
on the government.
Yeah.
So, within you have to be writing, you what time you don't listen to you, I'll start to think how things will be better in this country. Now you get a group of people that will come on the street and protesting a resolution of the district six representative who is from a United Party or the constituency of the so it's difficult. It's just difficult.
Thank you. You're right. Good morning.
Thank you. Let me appreciate you this morning for the topic on the discussion. This is Bobby Abu Mesra. I don't join the conversations on this basis of this. So what we are saying is towns in numbers about the district. It pains my heart to see the district clinic still not even up to stand up prepared to the lawmaker of the district. This is the only district that I can't do it that the lawmaker is reaching to the district. This could be now. How are you doing that? Who came to us? That we should work here. Our people, as you said, the problem needs to open the hand for 2029 because it's already there for us. We have lost the district to 10. No development, any single people to honorable NLC. Nothing. The district office. I will show you, I said, even the district folks, honorable Mappa, I believe that the district office says any school, one new industry 6 here. That build a structure, the foundation. That foundation been there, the lawmaker build a school, that foundation been there, the lawmaker build a hospital, and the facility of the now, the district now, the district office, for some of us to work out there. So I always see when some of us get activated, we go to the school. To activate because that's the only thing we can own. Instead of going to the district office to check our grievances, there's no district office until the Chinese working and put the place down. So why would that? Why there's nothing to show, nothing on our enemies are make the district immediately. Our people need to be sensitized 2029 that we shouldn't be this mistake.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers you like.
Good morning, Wiki.
Good morning.
So Wiki, some of the problems we're facing in the offices is because number one, poverty. Poverty is one of our major problems that we let people based on what they pay for eat for 1 day or for that 1,000 that's in the country. There are good people in our house. But because they don't give them the money, they don't take their salary when they get in, they don't take their salary. They don't steal the money that other people get. So a lot of people can go steal the money and waste it or ask salary, feel like you're doing well. The other people can get a raise salary and feel like they can help 2%, we see the need. Then we go to support, a lot of people can come and give us the waste, or the steal, or and can build the movement, remove the other people. So not all the person they're appointing, they are bad to money was deep on power because they have to put and spend money around the field, put money from bank, and when it's spread around, for them to get out, we're going to put about and now they are making noise. They're not going to get them with somebody hate your.
Okay, thank you, Gabriel. Let's talk to other callers you live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hello? Okay, let's talk to other callers. You live?
Good morning, Weekly. This was the effort to call from police academy this morning.
What are you working?
Thank you very much. We did, you guys said, or some of our brother said some of the things some of want to say. We did that they should be far. You know, we the football, we have our own problem. When people come to the election, if running campaign, all you look at the background of the person, you will not look that.
You vote someone based on party line, you vote on someone because of personal interest. During that day, the person come in great t-shirt, talk street talk, you vote for that person. The energy what they told you, the same representative can start minister to give them report. Then the same way the district have that responsibility, the same way to impact the representative and the representative to give them update on a daily basis. What is happening? But these days, there are own community police commission when the police coming election, the general safety to being, they decided they vote because they didn't want supporting somebody. If anything about that they live in police coming because of bad person, anything kind of community, they tell them that opposition, they take you from part of the process and bring people in who that they want to have control. That's the problem. I was telling the problem, the anything will be going, crying until God can answer all I mean, the thing that the effort you got to apply every day on the radio.
Thank you, Walter, for always following the broadcast. So you also can win for yourself some cash by playing the Cool Cash Radio Entertainment giveaway. You got *799 *11# and $100 70 cents US. Just play multiple times, 2 times, 3 times. I'm watching. Someone see your number, you can win. But let's talk to this caller on the line. You're live.
Good morning, with you.
Good morning.
I'm Smith.
Hey,
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hear that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, we are the court. We're the photo. Every friend. We need to come together and we recourse one people in the house. So nothing will happen, and we wait for 6 years. And we stand together as voters, we are getting power, and we recourse some of them. Then the friend will be serious in the country. But everything will be talking about a balance issue, and we get the power, we the voters, we get the position. That our children go to school, so we will bring ourselves. But we need to get the scholars and get together and recourse some of them. They must be in power, which we shouldn't go for 6 years. No day. When we recall some of them, you will see the other crew will be serious. So thank you for your show. We did thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you. You're live.
Yeah, good morning. The two in Bazira.
Good morning, Kat.
Yeah. Thank you for your platform this morning. I want for me to speak to District 4 people. I want for all those swap. You are from District 10. I want for you to come where you get come back so we can tell Marco Tomo. Yeah, God, you can come back in Aspen almost 12 years, 2 10 now. Nothing. If I say nothing for you to tell what you are seeing to say the baby for our home, nothing that I eat is retained. And then Marco Tomo, where you want to election almost 3 years, I'm tired, they are putting more from Marco Tomo. You come where you can come back so you can give up Marco Tomo. So thank you for your show, brother.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Elsa Boga, the first million at Director.
Go ahead.
I voted for Marco Tomo. I want for Marco Tomo here. And you keep on the way you stand on my step. But for the day Marco Tomo is that up to now, one person to even come and stop out. Thank you.
Good morning. You're welcome. Sometimes you might not just see a lawmaker, but there are other folks who are working in these offices. You live, go ahead. You're welcome, please.
Okay, but now, you see, it has to talk. Because poor men can lead us, can lead people. But because when they poor people to come, we say they are poor, so we don't want to vote for them to lead for us, so we can vote for them. So for every reason, they can go to the bank to vote their loan. They win now, the loan, they start to know what you think for us. They got to pay the loan before they start with us. And that's our next time with the party. That's why the cost. To say they push, get rich, get money, so they can vote into the race. Okay? When you get money, you vote into the race, then I'll vote for you. Want the money, man. So they go get their loan.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dean Agano's doing calling my finger. My attention to our Lord Mayor. No, they are the front of this country. If you get local, the working percentage of Lagos, they are the front. These people will come to our street mall, they will come to our street, share the bar where they share of people. And you go and vote, but when you vote, We are sure the Lomani lady I put this good. No leader, this good will listen and this good. Why now why are you representing our state? Then lead the number thing going to live in number 5. How you get out of the report the number 6 and the guitar on the number 6? We like nowhere along your Yankee and mentality.
Okay, let's talk to other callers. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Wiki. Good morning, Natl. My name is Natl from the Super. Thank you for the topic. But the question is, who are the problem? The problem here is we people elected. Just one of the people for us say, the electors will go to work. People that you know from nowhere, but you are open for Christ's sake, that you will be lady from the day of our home till the day you become 18 and you keep the top working. You will tell me how long before they feed you. But they will still be there to know people. I speak to you. What is the better of the one people that we elected? People saying now who will be put job, the ordinary. We know them, the ordinary. Sitting down home, the money they're supposed to be for the history, the money they're supposed to be for the future, they're taking it, giving it to you. You stay home and make 3 more. Support government. 90% of America, they are nobody to pay. Because while they are on payroll, sitting down home, you money are supposed to educate their children. Money for all the kids who can help here, you can improve water and education. That's the money. They're eating everything now, defending what they're not supposed to defend. Look at PGO high school, the PDS. We have 3 days to connect to PGO. Why can't they go there and build one and at least to help people? Why can't they go to tomorrow and ask for the land? And if you back over the neighbor 1 year, it's still the tomorrow help people. But because those people stay back there collecting money, we are the number of people they don't marry. They didn't need money. Then the year talking, defense for the next time. Look at people that are calling. They don't know the way to the people taking a train, that's not function. We don't know how to see, are they prominent? They are very worried to find out how many times I want to make our people there. To come to supervise what we are doing. What are in the interest of the district? For police are telling me to red light. How many times have our law members said something for everything? Also, even supervise how many times have you want to find out what to people? Nothing. But they sent back there, pay people, and the very people they pay, they go on there to debunk our statement. But this is the beauty of Africa in America. We dare, but we'll continue praying until one day we get them. We are not going back to pray the next day, as we are to leave. But because of their instinct, their second view, and they will sit down. Some of our team have spent 18 years there, no benefit, only their stomach. In the night to share back or about them, get the envelope. That is why we want to.
Thank you for being part of the conversation. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
This is Jim F. Borga calling from Boston, Marshall.
You're welcome, please.
Yeah, the whole thing, we give road, we the both of them, we can do it to ourselves. In District 1 there, Chief Rosa Tapowe, he was representing us there. He advocated for police station to be in Boston. He advocated for market to be in Boston. He did something. But then this past election, when we took the men from there.
You went back and brought a representative that was there before you said did not do good. You voted him up and you told tomorrow, then you brought back the former representative. Today you're complaining again.
Then they complaining. And for me, Chief Rosa, he was my representative. I voted for him 2 or 1 vote cannot do nothing for me. Okay? Because I knew about Obi that was there before. And no one did nothing. But see what the man did. But still we cannot be satisfied. I mean, well, I think we always do it to ourselves.
Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Yeah. Morning, Melody.
Go ahead.
THKOOL, for GSO right here. You see, our representative, district representative, is not doing anything. You see, the school, the only government school, every school created a representative
Now he came, he Samuel Enoch came to power to carry the school up to, teaching a school to government and the private school. Now the suffering massive now, the children, they're reading, those are able to pay tuition.
Government come on and has elite rapists. I repeat.
Okay, let me take this final caller and go for a break. You're live. Yeah, go ahead. Man, you must say that I kind of discussion and then say, why you call me up? You finish talking and he's like, I'll call you up. So let's go for our break this morning, and we are done with the discussion. Please. We are done, so we're going for our break this morning.
And black fascist demagogue, the narcissistic chauvinist, and black fascist demagogue in Georgia Newman Walker. Whenever we are called to deal with him, we do that because we do not fear him. We have seen men more brutal and despotic than Walker. Liberia have seen the less of Charles Taylor. We have seen the demands of the ecclesiastical orthodoxy of the moribund decadent Chui party. We have seen the emergence of the regular dictatorship of Samakando, the emergence of reckless government of Charles Taylor, the last daughter of the Chui party, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and we do not fear the Foya Mafia, or the Mafia from Foya, Jose Iman Bwaka.
Down, 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 down. Mafia Jose Iman Bwaka is down. Down, 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 down. He's a dictator, down. Down. When I put in this house, the New Talk Intl, Mr. President, the Senate, the Civil Police, especially us for the rescue government. Our people say we moved. Say what? One minute, 1 minute. No, sir, that's not 1 minute. Our people say we need. I beg you, Senator Moise. I want to land on something again. Even if you get 5%, the sex that you get, they say you mean.
The private sector is very important to create jobs for our young people, to create jobs for the jobless, and that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs role should be to reach out and invite other in Liberia that Liberia is open for business, while those who are responsible for investment carry out that work for us to carry that message. In repositioning Liberia and ensuring that Liberia takes her place in the Community of Nations, one of the things we did was to follow through on the bid for the UN Security Council. Now that's a very important step. And what we did as a new administration was to shape a campaign, to formulate a campaign strategy, and to move out. As you know, the voting happens at the place of permanent reps in New York and through the decisions of presidents and foreign ministers. And so our campaign targeted presidents and foreign ministers. But our president himself made some campaign efforts. We ourselves, I made campaign efforts, former foreign ministers made campaign efforts, visited capitals and so forth. And as you know, Liberia did not only get the minimum votes, we got 181 votes. This is the first time she's been able to get the full mandate of the UN General Assembly to sit on the UN Security Council non-permanent seat. The first time there was for only 1 year, and it wasn't because we won the confidence or got the votes. We could not obtain the 2/3 majority votes that were required. And so because of that, we never won the seat, but the seat was split between us and Ireland 1 year each after weeks of voting. The second thing we did after winning the Security Council seat, what we continue to do is to engage, continue to engage, because the Security Council seat now provides us a lever that we did not have before. Because of the Security Council seat, we saw that this year's UN General Assembly, the engagements that were required from Liberia were overwhelming. And I want to thank all of the ministers of government who were part of the President's delegation to the General Assembly, all of the deputy ministers who were there with us, who participated. We had a load of over 130 engagements between the President, myself, and all of the ministers and deputy ministers, and the permanent rep for Liberia. And that is 4 times more than what we had, or 3 times more than what we had in 2024 UN General Assembly engagement. Astronomical growth in terms of engagement, because of the UN Security Council seat, everyone wanted to know our position, everyone wanted to know where we stand, and wanted to engage on their agendas and on their issues. In fact, we could not even complete all of those engagements. Some of them we saw had to go to the capitals, had to go to Serbia to complete that engagement, and Zoom calls and so forth, because the engagements for Liberia now are so much. And this is where the president has said he wants us to be. He wants us to be back where we used to be before our conflict, and he wants us to be at a position where Liberia is not a problem for the world, but Liberia is a problem solver for the world. Liberia is part of the solution. And that's where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the deputies, assistant ministers, the ambassadors in these different countries, all of us working together with our colleagues in cabinet and with the national, all of us working together to really lift Liberia to where Liberia should be. And the meeting at the White House, again, did not just come as an event. Like I said, the president was there when he first took over, when he first was elected. But we also have had subsequent engagements here at home. We have had more engagements during the Security Council. And you saw, I think, May 31st, you remember I was at the State Department with Christopher Landau, the Deputy Secretary of State. I was there for our last campaign pitch, our last campaign discussion. But that discussion was very deep, and we discussed mutual issues of immigration, migration, discussed issues of economic diplomacy and commercial diplomacy. And as you know, the United States, when President Trump took over, has started their foreign policy thrust of commercial diplomacy, which we started last year, economic diplomacy, where ours is trade and investments, and theirs is primarily trade. But we align, our foreign policies align, and so that was very interesting for the United States to see that our foreign policies align. That meeting was very fruitful, thanks to Ambassador Conte as well, who joined me. And from that meeting, the next step was the president's meeting with President Trump. The president met President Trump in July. As you know, he was one of 5 heads of state in the White House. And in that meeting, I want to use this opportunity to say something that the world doesn't know. That meeting, across the table was President Trump and his team. From the State Department was Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau. There was Stephen Miller and others, his advisor on Africa, Masad Boulos. They were on the one side of the table. On the other side of the table were 5 presidents, our president included, and the 5 foreign ministers. And each president articulated their points. Of course, the meeting was off camera. You only saw on camera just the opening. And our president did a phenomenal job in articulating the points he wanted to convey. And after he finished his points, our president did something in that room that nobody knows in public. He asked President Trump for his foreign minister to speak. He was the only president that had the foreign minister speak. Every other country, only the president spoke. I spoke for 5 to 7 minutes and exchanged views with President Trump. I didn't say anything different than what President Boyka had said. But the fact is that he gave me that space to do that platform. It takes a leader to do that. He gave me that platform. And I was able to exchange with President Trump on the points on critical minerals and maritime security that the president had already spoken to him about. Just to emphasize them, I added Mano River Union, we talk about the Security Council seat. But something happened in that room. Across that table, I'm sure confidence was built in me because the president gave me that platform at that level. And so subsequent to that, me being sitting across the table with Marco Rubio in the White House in the West Wing is part of that journey. It's part of that journey of engaging with the United States and deepening the discussion. So the discussions that I had with Marco Rubio, Secretary of State and National Security Advisor to President Trump, were just carrying further those discussions that we've been having. In September 25th, I was invited by the U.S., the only one from Africa, invited to be on a panel with Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau to speak on asylum and migration issues, where I spoke for Africa, and the fact that the migration issue is not a U.S. issue, it's not a Western issue. On the continent of Africa, we have migration challenges. On the continent of Africa, we have movement between countries and within regions. And so the migration is a global problem that requires shared responsibility and shared solutions. And to have that conversation now go to the White House, where on last week, Thursday, I met with Marco Rubio. We talked about those migration challenges. We talked about critical minerals, job creation. We talked about the UN Security Council. We talked about U.S. priorities on the UN Security Council and what this means and how we can work together with the U.S. and others. The UN Security Council is an area where we're being supported by many countries. The EU countries, France, Sweden, Germany, some of them have been here trying to build capacity. The U.S. has offered to build our capacity for the Security Council. So everyone's interested in Liberia because we're going to be at a table with a global voice. We're already observing the room right now, and we start on January 1. And so those are all the discussions that we had with the U.S. We discussed visa issues. We discussed the challenges that they have with us as well. Our overstay is a problem. We're one of the worst countries for overstay. The U.S. even had somebody who they sent to the U.S. for training. The U.S. paid for them to go for training. On the first night, the person left the hotel and disappeared and absconded. These are real issues that we face. And these things affect Liberia. But we discuss all of these issues, how we can work together on overstay, how we can work together on migration and immigration issues, and how we can and look at funding around some of those things, and how we can look at demonstrating that the relationship is being deepened by trying to go back to visa, multi-year visa, and other things. So we know that with this deepening of the relationship, we expect that we'll ask America for more, America will ask us for more as well. We expect as we deepen the relationship, more will come, and we look forward to that. But it's just to really indicate here today that we're working as a Ministry of Foreign Affairs, everyone together as part of the team, all of the deputy ministers, assistant ministers, all the officers who very rarely get seen. We're all working together. You'll see recently Assistant Minister Christiana Kone, Assistant Minister Jack Foley, Assistant Minister Naomi Gray speaking at the UN for Liberia, being the voice for Liberia. A sense of pride to have women sitting there at the table speaking for Liberia, those different committees. It's collective work of everyone. And it's important for us to note that and know that we have partners along in doing that as well. The U.S. is the U.S. And everyone wants a good relationship with the U.S. And I think the steps we've taken from the president's first meeting when he was elected all the way till now is part of that journey, deepening the relationship. We expect for it to get stronger. We expect for it to get better. But I want to thank the president for his vision and thank the president for his trust that was demonstrated, for which now we are reaping the benefits of it. Thank the team also, all the deputies, the assistant ministers, the ambassadors. And I stress the ambassadors because the ambassadors are the foot soldiers in the countries. They are the ones that carry out the day-to-day. And so thanking the entirety, but also the ministers as well. As I said, the load at the General Assembly was so heavy. All of the ministers carry their share, from Minister of Finance to Minister of Gender, Minister of Health. You know, everybody carried the load of all those different meetings and engagements, and Liberia came out stronger. We're at a new place now as a country. We're at a new place now as a country. We're at a new place globally. We're at a new place on the continent. We represent Africa, one of Africa's 2 seats. And I think this is the time for us to be very proud. I'm proud also that Liberia now has ECOWAS representative. Councillor Bill will be going out to represent us, to be ECOWAS representative. It's a pride for Liberia. These are all steps of pride for us as a country. As we work together, we'll continue to look at how we strengthen and deepen our relations, and look at how we continue to engage. And relationships are about give and take. We have to give. But it's a relationship. It cannot be one-sided. We cannot only make campaign efforts. Former foreign ministers make campaign efforts, visit the capitals and so forth. And as you know, Liberia did not only get the minimum votes, we got 181 votes. This is the first time he's been able to get the full mandate of the UN General Assembly to sit on the UN Security Council non-permanent seat. The first there was for only 1 year, and it wasn't because we won the confidence or got the votes. We could not obtain the 2/3 majority votes that were required. And so because of that, we never won the seat, but the seat was split between us and Ireland 1 year each after weeks of voting. The second thing we did after winning the Security Council seat, what we continue to do is to engage, continue to engage, because the Security Council seat now provides us a lever that we did not have before. Because of the Security Council seat, we saw that this year's UN General Assembly, the engagements that were required from Liberia were overwhelming. And I want to thank all of the ministers of government who are part of the President's delegation to the General Assembly, all of the deputy ministers who were there with us, who participated. We had a load of over 130 engagements between the President, myself, and all of the ministers and deputy ministers, and the permanent rep for Liberia. And that is 4 times more than what we had, or 3 times more than what we had in 2024 UN General Assembly engagement. Astronomical growth in terms of engagement because of the UN Security Council seat. Everyone wanting to know our position, everyone wanting to know where we stand, and wanting to engage on their agendas and on their issues. In fact, we could not even complete all of those engagements. Some of them we saw we had to go to the capitals, had to go to Serbia to complete that engagement, and Zoom calls and so forth, because the engagements for Liberia now are so much. And this is where the President has said he wants us to be. He wants us to be back where we used to be before our conflict, and he wants us to be at a position where Liberia is not a problem for the world, but Liberia is a problem solver for the world. Liberia is part of the solution. And that's where the Ministry of Foreign Affairs the deputies, assistant ministers, the ambassadors in these different countries, all of us working together with our colleagues in cabinet and with the mansion, all of us working together to really lift Liberia to where Liberia should be. And the meeting at the White House, again, did not just come as an event. Like I said, the president was there when he first took over, when he first was elected. But we also have had subsequent engagements here at home. We have had more engagements during the Security Council. And you saw, I think, May 31st, you remember, I was at the State Department with Christopher Landau, the Deputy Secretary of State. I was there for our last campaign pitch, our last campaign discussion. But that discussion was very deep, and we discussed mutual issues of immigration, migration, discussed issues of economic diplomacy and commercial diplomacy. And as you know, the United States, when President Trump took over, has started their foreign policy thrust of commercial diplomacy, which we started last year, economic diplomacy, where ours is trade and investments, and theirs is primarily trade. But we align, our foreign policies align, and so that was very interesting for the United States to see that our foreign policies align. That meeting was very fruitful, thanks to Ambassador Conte as well, who joined me. And from that meeting, the next step was the president's meeting with President Trump. The president met President Trump in July. As you know, he was one of 5 heads of state in the White House. And in that meeting, I want to use this opportunity to say something that the world doesn't know. That meeting, across the table was President Trump and his team. From the State Department was Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau. There was Stephen Miller and others, his advisor on Africa, Masad Boulos. They were on the one side of the table. On the other side of the table were 5 presidents, our president included, and the 5 foreign ministers. And each president articulated their points. Of course, the meeting was off camera. You only saw on camera just the opening. And our president did a phenomenal job in articulating the points he wanted to convey. And after he finished his points, our president did something in that room that nobody knows in public. He asked President Trump for his foreign minister to speak. He was the only president that had the foreign minister speak. Every other country, only the president spoke. I spoke for 5 to 7 minutes and exchanged views with President Trump. I didn't say anything different than what President Boyka had said. But the fact is that he gave me that space to do that platform. It takes a leader to do that. He gave me that platform, and I was able to exchange with President Trump on the points on critical minerals and maritime security that the president had already spoken to him about. Just to emphasize them, I've added Mano River Union, we talk about the Security Council seat. But something happened in that room. Across that table, I'm sure confidence was built in me because the president gave me that platform at that level. And so subsequent to that, me being sitting across the table with Marco Rubio in the White House in the West Wing is part of that journey. It's part of that journey of engaging with the United States and deepening the discussion. So the discussions that I had with Marco Rubio, Secretary of State and National Security Advisor to President Trump, were just carrying further those discussions that we've been having. In September 25th, I was invited by the U.S., the only one from Africa, invited to be on a panel with Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau to speak on asylum and migration issues, where I spoke for Africa, and the fact that the migration issue is not a U.S. issue, it's not a Western issue. On the continent of Africa, we have migration challenges. On the continent of Africa, we have movement between countries and within regions. And so the migration is a global problem that requires shared responsibility and shared solutions. And to have that conversation now go to the White House, where on last week, Thursday, I met with Marco Rubio. We talked about those migration challenges. We talked about critical minerals, job creation. We talked about the UN Security Council. We talked about U.S. priorities on the UN Security Council and what this means and how we can work together with the U.S. and others. The UN Security Council is an area where we're being supported by many countries. The EU.
We segment back here and we listen to the voice of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister Cyril Deslo Yamti, talking and making on the case for Liberia. And my colleague and I behind the scene, we've been talking, and this is not to praise her. We want to see what our people in the opposition plan can see this woman, or those who support this government can see this woman, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, as somebody who is trying to change the narratives in terms of being opposition. Don't forget now, this woman contested for the presidency against President Joseph Imambaba in Mazlova.
Sure, she was one of the higher contender vying for the nation highest seat.
As a female candidate, she was one of the forces that was in reckoned with in terms of how she had her own thought and direction, how she wanted to see this country move forward. Now, come to think about this. After the election, she did not win. President Boakai won the election. She got appointed to, in most countries, even Liberia, you say, like, the most senior position in the cabinet. She's a doyen of the cabinet, the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah.
And driving our foreign policy. And in that position, to see you handling our foreign policy, building diplomatic relationship with other countries and other things, you will notice that there are some folks who will use it to blackmail or damage the government.
Sure.
But we have seen her strides coming from the opposition plan, even though she came from the opposition, but when she got appointed, she was fought by people from the Unity Party. That position was too high to give her because the fact that she did not come from the Unity Party and she what the president won, it was the same position she wanted to vie for. So there was no need of having her there. But since she became, we have seen some of the tribes, and you don't see anything like her opposite. It's about Liberia. It's not just about, oh, because I wanted to see, I did not get it, but say I'm placed in this position. I will use it to make this government unpopular, sell myself, but we see that she's selling the country.
Yeah.
Changing the narrative, having a better image of the country. How, can we not...
Ambassador, serving at the level of the United Nations as a representative and coming to this position to serve our country, she have changed the entire narrative. What comes to mind is that when you are in a position, you aspire for more. And then when you are given another opportunity, you perform. You see, but we see all the way around with politicians in our country. This madam, when first Liberia was vying for this.
I'm not calling you over. This is something I will say. Honorable Cyril Besu Yanti is not a Unity partisan.
No.
This woman, to be an opposition and giving that position, and you use it for the betterment of your country, is unprecedented.
Sure.
To see that, so I don't. Then because
she has shown that she understands the vision of President Boakai.
Yeah. If the president took the risk that he appointed this woman in this position at that level, and to see her justifying that, look, I wanted to be president, or I wanted to be this person, but this position, it borders around my country. I must save my country. Can we now look at people who in opposition? Then what you're doing too?
Folks thought that this madam would be the very first person this person will kick out.
Yeah.
Owing to the fact that she had her own political party, vie for the same seat the president.
It was the same thing with the late Minister of State, Sylvester Blissman, who also supported Cummings, other folks, to be president in the country. But when the president became president, he did not take that into consideration. He said, look, please come. You're my Minister of State. We are good friends for a long period of time, but can we work together in the interest of the country?
Then see, from the angle of Unity Party, 2 former chairmen has been kicked out of the government.
Yeah.
Amimoda, Women Pay.
Yes.
Have been kicked out. This is a madam who was completely not even thinking of being part of the Unity Party. But today she shall come to the field to further the agenda of this government. What I was saying was, when this president was aspiring to see Liberia at the Security Council of the United Nations, and Madam Sarah Beso Yanti as a minister was there, how the forces in the party never saw this coming.
But you
never saw it as a reality.
The interview you heard in the presence of the president, of all the other countries, their foreign ministers that were there, President Trump was the only person who pointed her out to speech. She told like 5-7 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, so sometimes, you know, you will have your opposing view, or you know how you intend to run a country or the position you want, and you think it can be a significant milestone to how you change the narratives, how you can develop a country. But if you are given a chance, she went for the presidency.
Yeah.
She did not get it. She got a position that placed her in a position to
get the face of the nation.
Sell herself far better than the president, because she travels than the president.
Sure.
This is a woman who is always on the road trip. But what we are receiving, let's be honest to ourselves.
This woman has proven professionalism. She has proven that she is focused. She has proven patriotism. She has proven loyalty to country and that individual.
You and myself, we have never met the woman before. We only have one late interview.
Yeah, we are interviewing online.
The interview we have her on,
but we are not met her one-on-one.
We have not met her, and you know. But let's give people the flower. It's just a clear indication of folks. Look, even if you came from the opposition, and today the president appointed you, you know what you do? You serve your country.
Serve your country.
Serve your country.
But Ambassador, I see this traditionally completely different from the typical politician in Liberia.
I think she just changed the narrative that, now because when you're in opposition and you're given a chance, so you go there and damage things. Because the position they were in, she in opposition to damage this country.
But that's now
with ease.
Corruption was laced. Global Bandiski.
We have seen our passports in the hands of terrorists.
We saw that before, Ambassador.
Yes.
We saw people masquerading the corridors with diplomatic passports. What are even happening? They need to be in a function. But this madam, Ambassador, this is my second time saying this about this minister. She has proven beyond all reasonable doubt that once you are a Liberian called to serve your country, you are not serving an individual.
You know that I'm very shocked about this woman's ability, to the extent that the president, the risk he took, somebody who contested against him for the same position that he won, and to have placed her in that position, and to see how she's performing, and some of the achievements coming back to our country. I think other opposition people who have the chance today in government, or tomorrow the president might look the direction of bringing in government, I think it should be about the country. Serving the country. You know that you wanted this position, but you did not get it, but you still being placed in a position to serve your country. Can you come and serve well, other than just sit down, you criticize, you
I'm hearing from the grapevine that one of the recent political institutions, CMC, the political leader, he's commending and praising the foreign minister and the Imapoga-led government.
Even Samuel Jackson even also posted.
Yeah.
He said in 36 years, this foreign minister, what she have done, we have not seen it so easily.
Yeah. Now Liberia have the visa facility for 12 months
to
36 months.
And they said right now
I'm only 1 year plus
and they said they will reduce the issue, the queue, the hurdles. Like I think 2-3 months ago, I think you remember when I told you, one of the persons who were privileged that were invited to the U.S. Embassy.
Yeah, the U.S. Embassy.
With other major talk show hosts as well, and they were providing the education because we were concerned about why is it that you deny our visa, especially a country like Liberia, so close to America.
Yeah.
Why you deny our visa? You do this, you do that. So that's how we had the discussion with the folks there, and they were talking that, look, we want you to go and provide the education to your folks. Not that we want to deny Liberia, but sometimes they owe us still and they do this. So we had a discussion, and they say, oh no, we with the understanding, and to see it coming now being mentioned, we still trying to, but it's an honor that we working in a direction going back to our old traditional partner and say, look, because we know we were told that
growing up, our kids, Liberians, were going to America with all visa.
Yeah.
And it used to look like people just go there to spend time and come back. Or send their kids to go to school there and come back. But we see, and there are folks in the African continent that the easiest way of going to America at the time was to come to Liberia. You come to Liberia, you fight to get...
others have come and tinted a character that Liberia now became a runaway child.
Yeah.
Don't trust them.
Don't trust them.
They are involved in the kind of deal. When they go to America, they get conscious.
We used to say the freedom people that roll, but they said we didn't want to cook and call roads.
The Nigerian people that are Karabule
people.
But coming to us. They coming to us. You see that? And in the past governments, this has been a very struggling thing for Liberians to have that faith. But with the leadership of President Boakai, diplomatic process is leading to a breakthrough.
And y'all don't get it wrong. We're not saying that this president is the best in the history of the country. We're talking about people who he appointed. And those from the opposition side. You know, it just sent my mind back to former President Charles Taylor and that of Honorable Monica. Honorable Monica did not come from the
MPP, yeah.
But when President Taylor became president, of all the folks I had, he chose to go for that man from the opposition side to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And he served word. He went education. He went for somebody that was not from his party.
Sure.
He sent them to education. There were some positions that people who fought him, but you are looking at the bigger picture called Liberia and say, look, I don't think we got to look.
It's just that this whole process, effective diplomacy, require a collective will. We are all Liberians who must work for our country. But to be frank with you, there were others in the past that actually placed a dark cloud over our diplomatic presence. But now, I will say this. When it's good, we say it's good. This madam, this minister, is trying her utmost best. For a fact, maybe I'll say, Lala Librarian don't know much about her or know little about her in the past.
You know,
represented the United Nations. But now she's doing well for some of the
I know the issue with guys in this country. Let me be frank and say to people. The society we from, until we try to change it, we only know people who are lousy.
Rude.
You only know people. That's just it.
Yes.
You only know people who are rude. People who just show themselves in every gathering or whatsoever. We only know people that every day you to police station.
Yeah.
Every day you to someone a court.
Yes. You are you can't back down.
Yeah, you eat at school, everybody know you because you're a rude person. That's how people know people. Even to the extent, let me come back to myself. There are people who have known me from childhood, but most of them don't even know my name with Hebrews. There are people who know me, but they think I'm selfish, I'm this person, only because I will not just talk like that. But to see this woman, and that's why, you remember when we hosted Honorable Alexander coming, I posted a question to him, I said, now you hear from Maryland County. You know, because that your intent is to see change. Can you use the legislature to get there and see how bad? You know, because I see most of our politicians in this country, most of the folks who want to be president, you know, if they can just focus in, because I think sitting at that position as representative, you have the power to control the president, to summon him, to impeach him, and to better strengthen the laws of the country and improve the country. But you will find that they say no, only the president say they want.
Yeah.
Go, you know, see, look at America today, Donald Trump, even his own, some of his folks on his Republican Party who are senators, representatives, see how they can handle him.
Yeah.
Because as far as they're concerned, they control him.
Yeah. And see what's happening after Liberia got the non-permanent seat, the Security Council. We saw America come to us in the formal diplomatic negotiations to say, yeah, Mr. Garcia, go to your country. Mr. Garcia is not somebody who comes to the country as a criminal or this, but let him go there it should be free and all that. Liberia accepted this thing because one time I remember what former President Taylor said when he had this interview in Nigeria. He said, America, when you don't have that cordiality with America, just know that things working for you will be difficult. And every president that will sit at the highest seat in Liberia will fight to have that cordial relationship with America.
And in Bagova, let's just say again, congratulations to Honorable Christopher Hayes Onanuga, the presidential special envoy on tourism, and to the Minister of Foreign Affairs again, after 13 years.
And the acting head of tourism.
Yeah, that's what.
Cooper.
Yeah, you know, and you know, to see us today through their instrumentality and how they were able to settle some of our debts or whatever, and how now today we have regained our full membership at the United Nations World Tourism Organization.
And that has been for several years, more than a decade.
Years.
Yeah, more than a decade.
These people,
Liberal applicant now, they apply for the B1, that's business. B2 tourism, B1, B2 business tourism combination.
Membership. They say
and visa will now be received. Visa will now receive multiple entry visa valid for 3 years, and will no reciprocatory fees required for those who qualify. Because previously, Liberia had to reapply for the new US visa annually.
And guess what? Only 2 weeks the people took to have the dialogue.
Yeah.
For us to regain this thing to.
This is a milestone. Come here, most ability. President, and let me just go. Let me pick one in small. Musa Bele was the man who sent at LFA. He left his Satuka today. Yeah, we sent Mother came here there. He came over there. Then we that's what I think. Musa Bele was what it was collaboration. He went there, figuring they came up. He left there. No other party again. None was there. He formed that party again. One of the senior members of the party in the US is running away. Talking about accountability. So you see, if this woman is setting a very, you have to serve with sincerity.
United Party people, you have to lead a woman that want to work. Because initially when the woman was nominated, there was a lot of negativity said about her. You see, today we are getting the kind of result. When Mr. Christopher Hayes Onanuga became ambassador, you started sending us messages and telling us we pro-government station. Where we been pro-government station when we ourselves can handle him? Yeah? You ask Honorable Christopher Hayes Onanuga, he will tell you, we don't spare him. And he one person who have said to us, the day we should not spare him.
The day we hear him with evidence, we will drag him till you won't believe it.
And
I tell you something. So he know how he walking because he know that when someone just come over and start to us, we're not to win him.
They're going to be among the people the president sacked. I'm going to take 1 week to be discussing him. That you went in government, you perform. That you didn't sack you.
Yeah. But we want Liberians that are result oriented. You see, these are development. Number one, we see the tourists, Liberia got a lot of motor show out. And these developments are very much important.
Yeah, man. They made him ambassador on tourism. See the kind of results. He fought today with other colleagues. We got that institution established now, taken away from the Ministry of Information.
Yeah.
We got the Liberia National Tourism Authority. The president has already appointed people now. Now, we're going back to the United Nations World Tourism Organization.
Yeah. Now, before where we used to apply multiple times to travel to the US, we have to, there will be no reapplying now.
I'm telling you that 36 months, if you go there, your visa, you can come, you won't go back 10 times, go and come. In that 36 months, you can operate.
Yeah.
You see where we are now?
Well, you go there, spend 6 months, come back. You go again, spend 6 months, come back. Our men will not use it, they will be laid down outside because the men, they quit to farm, they misuse, they could have misused things.
Nobody tried, the men would reject it because, if you abuse it, America will abuse us.
Yeah. And now the private sector, the investment climate, entrepreneur trying to be more
And this is for all of them who have been given a chance to serve your country. Look, this thing is for your own good. That your country is making better. That your name, you're happy to say, because you know what? Tomorrow, you'll be there and gone. But by the time your child or children go at places, by the time just mentioning the name, doors will be open. They will not apply for jobs because you serve the country. So if you're in the opposition and you get a chance to come, don't make it look like you're supposed to undermine your own country.
You know that plan, what they do? So they know that they fought for the position and they never won the position, and they came closer to some sort of position. They do all of the good plans, they will keep it. They will make sure the government fail. Because they're waiting for the day they become president and they bring the who at the power. Who told you to become president when you keep your ideas? Who told you to become president when you keep your ideas?
You just speak good of somebody for what they do. Somebody you say you're looking for a job.
Pastor, I don't care this time. You sick, who can help you? Eh? You hungry, who can help you? Say the truth. Let people say the truth. Be bold and say what the truth lies. I'm not begging nobody. Eh? I was sick here on my sick bed asking people to help me. Because my man, that true they wanted this organized statement. Eh? Now because my family are very strong woman that is behind me, my wife. Maybe today I'm strong and all back on my feet. And I know why they sweat. I know why they sweat. Then they say the truth, I'll be afraid to say the truth. I will say the truth.
What you listening to you?
Yeah.
I know you home.
Eh? Because now they're looking in the country. Truth challenge is a serious problem. You must always be bullying people and say things that are right. Eh? What kind of country you so? Where not Sarah from? Where she know me from? But she doing something that is commendable. Today, you'll be reapplying, whole day reapplying. Today, you say somebody, remember the roastman, 1 year, 6 months, they will say, you ask if you say, come back. We are reapplying. Where are we? With the oldest nation. What kind of stuff are we setting? Look at the short time this president came up. Less than 2 years. Like probably even countries that would never expect to voted for us overwhelmingly to sit at the Security Council, the non-permanent seat. See where we are today. Tourism, after 30 years. Today, Madam Sarah Bezo-Yanti has made it possible she and her team that 12 months has gone to 36 months. So what will be more serious than that happening? Eh? Let's be careful. This is about Liberia. Now, we have Liberians traveling freely to the United States, entrepreneurial, training, partnership, potential leading process, increasing trade, business innovation, technology. What we say here?
And this is why a critic of the government, Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
This is
Musability. Let's go ahead. Musability.
He wrote on his official Facebook page. He said congrats to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Bezo-Yanti, for achieving 36 more multiple entry of Liberians eligible for certain non-immigrant visa. It is a huge deal. South Africa, it says South African get 10 years. It is a great diplomatic gesture.
Yeah.
So you see that?
You see that? We're going small.
Yeah.
It's because we are proving to the world that we can be trusted. Two guys sit here be talking about things criticize all day. No!
Any kind of way I want to hear about all the money I hear about.
The Musa Bene, they were talking. Saying when elevated, they saying when I gave for Bene, you were fine. Saying went to collaboration. Finger him Bene came up. Liberty Party, they weren't happy. His partner even run away from him today because of transparency. He didn't want to find people who have a tinted character in answer them. But he is saying today that we should take pride in development and see as an evidence that real achievement come through teamwork, integrity, sustained national efforts. This is Musa Bene speaking. Yeah. We can just say that all day. Someone tell me why you can't go so, why you can't start so. Things are happening. Liberians are now beginning to regain that dignity they had before. Imagine when you go places before in the African continent, you have Liberia. They say, what? Yeah, the man speaking, they're American man. But today go there, they tell you that you're going to rule. You look at here, maybe something happen here. But where are we? drugs now floating all over our country here. Liberians now. Imagine with the immense fight that the LDA carried on with this interim team. You know that people are carrying a car Seveloon, they putting drugs all in the car cover, they hiring natives so that we just bring drugs in the country. People go with palm oil, they put tramadol in the palm oil in the gallon to force them to bring it into here. What we doing here? They also are fighting to rebrand the image of this country. We should not talk here. The tramadol you bring here, they're going to be all they get crazy. The kush, that we should talk about you. What kind of country here so? That people don't value truth in this country.
Yeah, let's go to the phone lines and talk to our folks this morning. But you heard, you know, we try to look at people who were brought into government, how the people, regardless of the positions that they were seeking, contested it with the current president. But yet, when given a chance, they see themselves in a position where they're serving the country too now. We talk about the Minister of Foreign Affairs. She contested the presidency. But President Bogart did not see her as somebody who against her, but he saw something in her and said, but this woman can work. Since she had the interest of moving the country forward, can we put her in this position?
Yeah.
She can make her contribution. And she
Pastor, she never even saw the need. They said, I want to be president. And I come here, I will honor my government. So my own can, I will do the duty.
And she in a position to honor my own.
Yeah.
That's my position. She's a drawing of the cabinet. Let's talk to our callers. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. You know, the position of going to people situation. You can see that your free education. Yeah, I'm going to be in position. I didn't know where that pro over here. I didn't know. I don't know for anywhere that you opposition. When the way you work.
No, the woman is not that woman. Yeah.
I'm just hearing about it. My friend going to laugh at me.
The woman ran for president, oh, you know?
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
No problem. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me say thanks to our minister, travel to her, for job well done. But we appealing to those who will go. Because you see when you that's true. Enter the people country.
That's true. They can cause problem for other people. That's true. You're right.
They will cause problem to bring lot of stagnation today.
Sure.
We begging them when you go, you let the time come back.
Yeah.
Come back.
Don't go be hardy.
Don't hard. They all respect
our big country, you go inside.
Big country, you go hard. No way to look for you.
There were pastors who left the country today. They told cartoon somewhere cleans my bag where they want to come back.
I like the advice. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Ricky and now.
Yeah, let's hear you. Why?
Yeah, my new jealousy as well. Calling my distance about what they're winning the country. Ricky and now, look, we found a position as small hotel now for it to stop before we get a position yet. And when the country is happening, we thought it's not what we were saying. God, here, I still want to come back. All those that won't go come there. They won't come back to support the back country. Okay, then comment the government that give and brought opposition on board. As I said, so that's why you need to have whatever party. So who keep it all in now? They into the government. The amount of opposition are working in the government. So the government needs something. So they'll get the government to see it happening.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other callers. You're live.
Good morning. Once again, Mr. Brown Information Group.
Good morning, Brian.
So that Nigeria is a land of an injury. If today Nigeria is speaking about trading on the step of to war, I don't have the information books and history about. You people are really too working when it comes to.
So what are you already give us on you to now? Why will not work? Because they just teaching, but why you are giving up something? What do you want? You want follow this scheme? I think I'm gonna tell the president that point me now. Let me move on. Video.
My little corner, December, just.
You guys got it.
The program do nothing. The program do nothing for you. I'm making my channel like people. Pour selfish and greedy.
Morning. Well, we can't complain.
Begin and being a damage going to begin to my finger resident. Begin know it can't very much serious money. That was what I had to do. What happened with people at my end? I haven't seen where this woman, where still I haven't seen.
Okay.
You know, on this government, then one of the best ministers that we can point out now.
Yeah. So we thought, we thought to bring it. That woman up on the opposition black.
We get to the opposition when you said when you appointed, you were a president of the go up for that.
But she could go in a position and have the intent of damaging this government because the position she says in, she got the power to get damaged or in split second.
But look at the party the woman was serving on at President Kennedy. African Liberation League.
Yeah.
African Liberation League. She was former representative at the United Nations.
Good morning.
I mean representative the UN.
You're welcome. Yeah, go ahead.
Wiggy, when they do a contest, that broke the woman was qualified. You didn't have them people. They will have people that go all around the world. They will tell all that no, do not protest that. And I want to say, what you talk about, for what you know, for that, for president now with people who are right. Yet, if you want, and I'm done to do food there. You know how far that go? Eh? We are part of very life. We feel like we're moving. But see where we are going to you go to the United Nations, we are there. You go to the other countries, we are there. And because the house is more. And what you? And I say, from one to the other again. That's all we got there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's talk to other callers. Good morning.
Good morning, what you are.
You're welcome, sir.
My name is Jeremiah Jifu. I'm a Joshua, but I'm a referee.
Okay.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to this at Martin J. and Paulie to please publicly apologize to the I'm calling on you, Martin J. and Paulie. Please publicly apologize to the Foreign Affairs Minister. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir.
You're welcome.
Now we get God thank you for what I will not do. But now don't be coming, don't be said I will send now. That's visa.
No, we'll get to that other part, but let's appreciate the kind of work. You know, the fact what we decide to say this woman came from, the woman is somebody who came from the opposition. The woman contested the presidency, but the president appointed her, and she did not tell local aid and say,
yeah, let me sit down.
Say, I want it, I will go there and make sure as for a government.
Mr. Betty, go ahead.
Yeah, this news came. Yeah, I had certified this lady contest the presidency during the second round. She pledged her support to President Park. And now she is a foreign minister. Well, here's my point on this argument. If Labrador gave the United States of America citizen with that country visa waiver, will it be on news in our country or celebration? I said, no, it won't. The reason for it is on news here, our leaders, they have failed to develop the nation, failed to develop the lives of the people of this nation. That's the reason for which this visa was on news. And we have to use the wealth of this nation to develop the nation and make the nation.
Jones,
what are you saying
now? No, we're trying to get what brother he wants to say now because I don't know why anyone is not news, but they've been struggling to get visa, they've been denied, and they have brought all of the hurdles down to see how best the long queue and all of this, and then you refer to it as not something that is welcoming.
Hello?
You live?
Yeah, the reason I'm saying this, because due to the desperation of people, due to the failure of our leader, due to the handle of corruption practiced by our leader, that's the reason we are celebrating this. And I'll ask you a simple question. If there's a visa waiver to American, will it be celebrated in America? Will it be on news?
But the people giving you a privilege. Then you say the people must be the one to celebrate when we are the ones to celebrate. Thank you.
I understand because every time you just look for something on the other side. And besides that, the point you don't want to get former president, we have called several Liberians for the federal spectrum to serve in the government. And they honor him. They honor him. But we are saying this president has said, you come and work with me, and this president is also following the president's vision. You know what we're talking?
Normally, when you read government around the world,
then you can talk about different things.
But when you read government around the world, there are 3 key cabinet positions. It's not easy to give out to anybody outside your cycle. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Information, Minister of Justice. Those key Minister of Finance. Just don't have people who are never going to party controlling the finance in this country. Those are risks you will take, but you will look at the person and know the quality of the person, that this person will work in the interest of the country. Then you come back, you tell us whether it should be a celebration.
Man, I can't you say the thing at the post, why you go this side?
And when you tell your good,
and that's bad.
As a friend, brother, you tell your good with and Jones. He been denied before. When you check your head, they now denying visa. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You see the woman will struggle coke one area. I fool you say sweet. When your friend can't taste the process, woman coke was there the last time she cook. What we're talking about now? What happening?
That is something, but this is where coming, because you know why? There are folks who want to seek medication in America. There are folks who want to follow their education. But sometimes after the family, the relatives will talk about all of these things for them, when they go to that place, they are denied.
Ambassador, we had this privilege before. Other Liberians spoil it.
Yeah.
We are seeing it coming back in life. This is what I'm talking about.
Can we hold this and say yes?
The man was accused, they sent him to jail. Now he was seen as a prisoner. He came from jail. He's now rebuilding his life. His life has now changed. People are now beginning to see his true nature. This is what we're talking about. Liberians, all Liberians spoil this privilege for Liberia.
And this will be a shame and embarrassment and a lesson for even people from the Unity Party today who are in government and misusing the
yes.
To see somebody who contested against the presidency and leading in this form in manner, they should be ashamed of themselves.
There's a reason why I call the name Amin Moda. Amin Moda was the former chairman of the party. Amin Moda should have been released from the government to resign.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What is calling for you?
You're welcome.
The small representative one we are going to take from the past. And even having to forget, but you know that let us say, you know, let us say, all the men like this, the whole the 60, the 70 reform. Do you see where we are? You see what government? Martin called it to learn about the area. Every time, Martin called it real big, which really want to tell you. I was when he president America. I want to work with her. Even can start there for who happen a be in one. They will today. But well, what is God? Thank you, Jerome.
Thank you. Let's talk to this caller. You're live.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Ricky, and good morning, Nat.
You're welcome.
Really, for us, great and calling and get away from this, the more honor to speak. Thank you for the topic this morning.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to other
like brother, never see two things.
You're live. Go ahead.
But the credit side they can do it.
This is Pastor David. So, I don't know why many Liberians think all of us are supposed to live again. We will not, because some of us look at it from different perspectives. I hear somebody say they were my twins. That's not true. They were.
We don't even need to continue.
We talk about clean business, yeah? What's up? So you got serious comprehension problem in this country.
You see the level of intellectual disability, what are happening to people? We're discussing whether somebody, we're telling you, somebody who comes from the opposition, because even some of the folks from the Unity Party today that are serving in this government cannot match what she's doing. They dare because they feel that the party and the party owe it to them and what they did. Today we have seen people from the Unity Party background who serve as chairman, serve as secretary, serve in other capacity. They have been given the marching order. If the president said he wanted to take action, he said, the woman and she contested, she in the position, I will sack her. But we're telling you, the fact that she came from the opposition and given the chance, you can see that she gave herself a country.
I mean, Liberia some Liberian got
We don't
serious
talk
comprehension
that
problem.
when they woman named for in corruption, we discuss it. We're talking about what.
But in Babylon, we are the host of this program. We decide what to discuss.
Yeah. Anyone
Someone don't discuss this.
In Babylon, they didn't.
The level you go, they got all the stations.
Yeah,
Turn there.
That's a lovable thing.
Or cut it off.
That is seeing people who can call or text or criticize or. But I don't know why they can't stop listening to this program. I'm accepting it because I don't wake up in the morning and they pass on people's house and be putting cool on. But you won't listen to it. You know the thing and hey, why are you attuned to it? That's how we like to leave you this morning on this edition of the morning. Many thanks to all of you for joining us as usual. Thanks to Sakano who's been here controlling the videos and sound. It was advised alongside Wiki Brooks who said thanks to our board chair, and it's White. Good morning to you and to the entire folks. Have a wonderful time.
EU countries, France, Sweden, Germany, some of them have been here trying to build capacity. The US has offered to build our capacity for the Security Council seat. Everyone's interested in Liberia because we're going to get a table with a global voice. We're already observing Legon right now, and we start on January 1. And so those are all the discussions that we had with the US. We discussed visa issues. We discussed the challenges that they have with us as well.